Y'all live. What's up, everybody? It is September 13th. I got Stacy here, PO here. We're gonna discuss episode 10 of Ready to Love. I want to give a quick shout out to Sabrina Soul, who may not be with us tonight. Sabrina is taking some time off right now, so shout out to Sabrina. Make sure y'all send her some notes of love and encouragement. She's just in a space where she wants to get some things together. Definitely check out her most recent video. It's about 16 minutes long. She explained it a whole lot more than I did. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts. And again, make sure you send her some words of encouragement. All right. We're back. I think we're all sober. So let's go. You all know me, Tyrone from Ready to Love DC, doing the panels, doing a bunch of different things about my life and my experiences and getting into the mental health, crushing childhood traumas. You may have seen some videos that I posted recently about meeting my long lost siblings and also having a live conversation with my biological father, who I've only spoken to twice or maybe three times in my life. All right. So, Stacy, Paul, let them know where you at, what you're doing, and where they can find you.
Hey, I'm Stacey B. Y'all know how I am. You can find me on Instagram. I gotta keep it simple.
Okay. You muted, Paul.
Yeah, you already know what it is.
Yeah.
PO. 100 sightings. IG. Everywhere you want to be. Let's go.
All right. So we already know where we got to start, right? So we got to start with this, where we left over from last week. We saw that Jessica and Janelle, not Jessica and Sierra, I think we had the cliffhanger. We missed last week, didn't get to discuss it. But before that, y'all want to say anything about day one of the mansion?
Not really.
Okay.
It wasn't given a whole lot. To summarize, Sierra went home. And Janelle had the tight leash on, what's his name? Quentin.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a whole lot going on with that. So
okay.
Why bother?
Okay. It seemed like Sierra was ready.
More than ready.
Stacey, you muted. Yeah, it seemed like she was ready. Did you have something, Stacey? Oh, okay. We got your note. All right, so the ladies got control now. I think I do have the screenshot about the verbiage, right? So there was some verbiage being used. Jessica had mentioned that she was a little put off by the verbiage, had some ideas about who may have said it. You see them all in the room. I do have some notes, but where do you want to go from there, Paul, Stacy?
So, wait, was this the beginning, or was this the beginning of the second one, or no?
No, this was definitely the very next place. I don't have the screenshot for it, but
okay, yeah, no worries.
Immediately after this, they cut to Jessica explaining how she felt about being on the bottom.
Oh yeah. This is the way that you got to look at this, because Jessica went around chasing, down the answer of trying to get Chris to tell her that he said it. Now, my thing is this here: why does it matter what words he said whenever, if it doesn't apply to you, right? And if you're saying that this is not who I am, why in the hell are you worried about him telling you that this is who you are? So then, are you really that way and you have to defend it? Or can you just live your life? Because if somebody said to me, "You a piece of shit," I'll say, "Oh, so are you." and then I keep it moving, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to internalize that, because I know exactly who I am and who I am not.
Okay, funny you say that, but so does that work both ways?
I can tell you this. Like once
Right?
I'm off you, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
So I'm agreeing with Paul. Like, I know y'all wanted a firecracker, but right here, I can't even fire our crack right here. I'm agreeing with Paul. Like, they both decided this ain't a fit. What's the problem? Like, why are you seeking some kind of validation or anything? Once I'm off you, I'm off you. It ain't no negative beef, but I'm gonna just move in another direction. Love and blessings to you, my brother.
But
I don't know what the big damn deal was. It was dumb as hell. It was dumb as hell, and it was really telling.
I don't think she took it. I mean, obviously she probably felt the way, but I don't think she really took it that way. Basically, she felt some type of way about the word that was said. And really, to me, all she was trying to figure out was who said it. Do you know what I mean? Who said it? And
No, sir.
huh?
No, sir. Nope.
What do you mean no?
Sorry about that. And let me apologize up front, because I keep going in and out because I'm trying to be polite and not eat on the screen. So I'm just having my dinner. But no, absolutely not. I feel like she was hurt by the combative word, right? She internalized that word. She lived that word in her chest. And at the end of the day, why? Why are you hell bent on one word?
Because you've been told that before.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all feel that that is a bad word?
I don't know. To me, listen, it is a descriptive word for one's actions, right?
Okay.
And he said she has been combative. My thing is like, he didn't say that she's just a combative person. He's saying that her actions from my vantage point is combative, and I don't want nothing to do with it. Not, I mean, realistically, like this, it's a petty ass thing to sit here and just bicker over. Like, grow a sack and move on. It's a word. If you know you're not combative, look, you got me effed up, and keep it moving. Why in the hell are you in the room all day isolated over that one word?
So I think it's more than the word being used. It was the fact that nobody admitted to using the word.
Okay, so
Combination of both.
Ty, let me jump in here real quick. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. But I see where you were going. I see where you're going. Hey, boo. At the beginning of this, had Janelle not highlighted, oh, I've heard this term. Soon as they finish with the elimination, I see where you would have gone with this, and I would have been on your side with, where you were saying with it. But however, being that she knows she's heard this before and she's heard it from Chris, she knows exactly where it came from. There's no point of trying to hunt down and witch hunt everybody out of this group when you know exactly where it came from. Because Janelle highlighted it in that moment. Oh, we know we heard this before. So if Janelle didn't do that, I would agree with you on that point of, yeah, let's find out where it came from. Who said this? Because I'm learning words don't hurt me the way it hurts other people. I'm like P.O. Like, if it don't apply to me, I'm moving on with it. But I understand how certain words in our community, when you say it to a Black person, specifically a Black woman, it becomes a problem. I get that.
I can understand. Oh, I'm sorry, Jay.
You can't understand what, Stace?
I can understand everything you're saying. I think that it so bothered her because this isn't the first time it seems, so I can speak for her experiences. It seems that this is not the first time that she's probably heard that. So it's a trigger, like she was actually, from what we could see, it seemed as if she was triggered by it. Like, like Black women, when we're called aggressive, it's a trigger word because we've heard it before because we've given our opinion or we've done something before. The issue for me is that we didn't see Chris running around talking about she aggressive, she aggressive. No, not she aggressive. She combative. The only time we saw him speaking on this is when he was asked specifically about his connection with her in the men's lounge. He wasn't out here soiling up her name. On day 2 of the retreat, she was so hell-bent on dragging this one thing, she couldn't even focus on her connections. Well, really, because she ain't have none. She's literally just here. She's here for no damn reason. At this point, she's here for nothing. Because we know the fake connection with Marie is fake as hell. It's a fallback plan. And we can see that because today, I started watching. I've been moving and I've been on vacation, so I've missed. So I was trying to catch up on the previous episodes before the second resort or retreat. So the part that I got to, it was like Sierra was pretty bent when she sees all of a sudden Jessica catering to Marie, and it really seemed out of the blue. And it just so happens that she fixed his plate and delivers his plate at the exact moment Chris is present and is walking through there. I thought that was pretty telling, pretty damn telling.
Well, I can't say much of that because she even brought Chris food to his job. So that's just something she do. Some of us just feed people.
Well, I'll let P.O. tell you what he probably think that is.
I know exactly what it is, and it would have been or whatever, stuff like that. But at the same time, we watch her bring food to Chris at his job. So I'm not going to read too much into that. I know she was being petty, but hey, if I feed people, I feed people. If it's just you not getting fed today, that's what it is.
And that's also, Jay, you're speaking on the food part because I like in getting to know you better and being around you and knowing what you do, that's one of your love languages. So I know if you ever feed me, you care about me. That's not the same with everybody.
Facts. What I was saying though is in regards to her witch hunt, I wish she didn't do that. I wish she didn't let Janelle egg her up to go there and run around the house. If she was okay with the fact that that was his experience, like she said, let him have his experience. There's no reason to go and ask everybody else because you already know who it was, why or who said it and what it is. If you want to fix it or you want to correct it, you go to that person and say, what did I do to make you have this experience with me? I think that would have been the best thing for her to do instead of just continuously trying to avoid another grown person. Y'all both grown people. We can have a conversation. Now, in that moment, if he displays combative energy, let it ride.
Right.
Let it ride. Because then we'll be seeing who actually is the combative one out of the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the combination of them two is just not a good thing, period.
Yeah, you hit on 2 good points about letting it ride, and it seemed like he was trying to let it go himself by not even, he said he didn't want to address it, but I think his reasoning for not wanting to address it, made it seem like the whole room knew who the combative one was. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
And then also though, you got people, she got people on the inside running back, telling her what's going on in the men's lounge.
Yep.
Say that again. Explain that, Pio.
And in all fairness, I'm not going to say that Chris shouldn't have lied in that moment, but I can respectfully understand why I'm going to, or why he avoided answering that question straightforward. Because you put me in a room and you're making it a bigger situation than it needs to be. We should be having a one-on-one conversation. We're adults.
Yeah, I believe Morier was ratting Chris out though.
Oh yeah, he was definitely doing that.
I believe he ratted him out, and he did that. And in his confessional, he says, I don't know why he wouldn't just step forward and say he said it and blah blah blah. So that just tells me, like, and then for them to have a quote unquote so-called connection, right? Then that pillow talk from the lounge is being laid on the table.
So do y'all feel like Marie said that on purpose? So Jessica will know exactly who voted her off?
I think Marie said it so naturally. He's observed it himself before. I think that it came so naturally that that's what he was on to. Because it wasn't like, oh, like if you don't say, if it's not on the forefront of your brain, like your thought process, you're going to find another word. You're going to find another way to put it. He didn't have another way to put it because he's observed it or seen it or felt it. Now, the only person that I feel like in that moment that probably didn't agree with it was probably Phil, because he explicitly stated it. But Marie getting up and walking away was him deflecting and not broaching the issue. I don't think that it was an assignment of like guilt who said it. I think he totally agrees with it.
Yeah, so
in some form or fashion.
So like there was in the lounge, I mean not in the lounge, afterwards, all of the men said it's not a consensus.
And that's
right?
the part.
They said it's not a consensus of how we feel or something like that. But inside of the room, I think in the very next scene, Quentin had said something like
they all agree.
Yeah, the way he expressed it's the collective of how they all talk to Tommy about her. So
exactly,
maybe they just didn't want to say it in front of her, but it feels like they feel the same way.
Yeah.
And let's just tell from our lives, and you know how we have guests on, I've talked to Marie. I like Marie, but in this moment, he's been playing both. My opinion is that he's been straddling the fence. He's been talking about, so one of the men have been feeding Janelle Jessanelle what's going on in the lounge. So we know that. However, it wasn't a big deal because Chris has also directly told her these same words before. So what's different about it now? Two, if you pay attention, the only reason why I'm going to say that Chris did not lie is because in that moment, his last exchange, his last verbiage that we saw in the lounge was he was like, the situation was combative. So to me, it seemed like he had grown maybe from saying that she's combative to saying, oh, well, this particular situation was very combative, like it was back and forth. And I'm sure we can probably, like, if we look at it and, how they're speaking to one another, like you're playing tennis or ping pong, you can probably say, oh, okay, I can see how he felt that way about this particular situation. Other than that, he has been very, very open about, hey, you need to soften up, you need to do this, you need to do that. And so the problem that I have with this moment, like how she dragged it, is that if you are in the market to get a man, right? If you're in the market to fix whatever your situation is, then at some point you've got to digest the feedback that you're getting. The fact that you're fending off the feedback is combative in itself. The entire episode was her combating what she felt he said. And all in that moment, let's be honest, in that moment, he said the situation was combative. So I can understand if he's a person who's like, okay, I will own up to what I said in this moment. You know how we do when we're ready to love and we're going from date to date to date. we speak on one specific incident, like one specific date. You know what I mean? We're speaking on one specific thing that we're being asked. We're being asked a direct question about something specific. So our words are going to be tailored to this specific moment, right? So I think it was a little bit unfair to Chris, because in that moment he said the situation was, and he didn't say that she was. He said the exchange was combative.
No, come on, Stacey. Come on, Stacey.
He might have
Stacey.
also been talking about himself in that moment, because
Stacey, he lied. We're not gonna play that. Chris lied. Chris lied. He might not have lied to her in her face, like she said, from the editing that we seen, but he lied to Lee. He said the words, regardless if he said it was a combative situation or she was combative. The word Lee asked him, "Did you say combative? Did you use the word combative?" He said no. He lied.
Hell, he said it so much, he don't know when he's saying it, when he's not.
That you just came out of the whole. They all just came out of the lounge or whatever. They had the lounge seconds before they had the elimination. And to answer Tyrone's question about did Marie know, I look at it two ways. I look at Marie was trying to set Chris up because I feel like he got an alliance with Jessica and all them, which only backfired in his own face.
Yep.
But at the same time, he came out of the lounge just seconds ago, because sometimes when we getting ready to do something pressure, the last things that we hear, the last thing that's on our mind, and we say those things. He should have consulted with the cards before he went out there and said what he said, because both of them ladies was his connection at the end of the day. So he should have made it very personal to himself.
Well, I didn't recall the moment that you're speaking about when you're like, Lee asked if he specifically said the word combative. So I apologize for that if I'm wrong in this. But I will also say, she demonstrated that she was combative.
Agree.
So where's the lie? And I'll say this too. So P.O. and I have beef, and I rubbed him wrong, and then we're in front of a group, right? If I'm gonna be a lady, right, I might spare the group the one-on-one conversation that need to be had between me and him. I might deflect and not respond because this situation probably needs to be diffused, and PO doesn't need to be ganged up on at this moment. But later, I would probably have a conversation with PO. And when I was watching all of this, unfold, that is where my thought process was like, okay, this conversation about this is probably a one-on-one conversation, and it doesn't need to be had in front of a whole group. I'm gonna spare your dignity, whatever, and I'm gonna keep it couth, and I'm gonna keep it cute, and I'm not gonna do this right now. And I feel like that's a sign of maturity. Some people see it, oh, he's lying, or he's not answering, he's not being truthful. In that moment, like if I look at a larger scale, I would probably not address PO as well. You know what I mean? I mean, hypothetically speaking.
Right. But what you wouldn't say is, you know what? I already know how you're going to react. Therefore, I ain't even going to respond. Right? You would say something like, you know what? We could probably just take this offline one-on-one. Right? I want to have a discussion in front of everybody. Right? That's an option, right?
I'm sorry.
Or you could just stand on your 10 toes and say, you know what,
like,
we don't like each other. Yeah, we don't like each other. And I said what I said. You know why I said it.
I mean, and then what's wrong with, sitting there and taking the feedback and saying, okay, well, I don't feel like I'm combative or I've been combative. So can somebody explain to me or tell me why we came up with this? What am I doing wrong? What type of, atmosphere am I placing people in for them to say that I'm combative, and not who said it? Because it's on when I see you. Because to me, that in itself is almost justifying the actual word, because to me, combative means to fight back, right? To when you see something that you don't like, you strike and you fight back. That's what the word means. And that behavior sort of came out in that instance. I'm not going to, ascribe that she's a combative person, but that is sort of textbook as to what that is. You don't like combat. It takes two people. Like, you don't go to combat with one person, right? It's two people there at the same time, and they're fighting over an issue, right? And so, what is combative? I mean, what is that?
But like,
right?
what is it? Do you think that's subjective to the person? Because
it is subjective.
Just because I respond to you, it don't mean I'm trying to be combative. It just means
responding is one thing, though, right? But when you sitting up there, you got to understand it's the totality of it all. When you have somebody, if I'm sitting here and I'm responding to you like, yeah, Tyrone, and I'm cracking my knuckles while I'm talking to you, just my posture alone is saying to you, right, that I'm in a striking manner, right? It's not like I'm sitting there, whistling like, hey, Tyrone, buddy, let's talk. It's like, yeah, Tyrone, man, you know what I'm saying? Me and you, man, we're going to have to talk, bro. And if I'm doing that, you know what to expect. It's like, I see, you're projecting this stuff onto me, and it is what it is.
Can I say my last thought? Because I got to get out of here. Play about these things. I feel like it was nothing wrong with her asking people, but when you pull people and you allow your knowingly combative friend to take the lead, you're her ringman, you're her henchman in the background and stuff. You're waiting for war. You both are now lined up for war, especially when you two been sitting here passive aggressively talking loud. I wonder who did this. This sounds great. Stuff. You're already coming into a combative stance. And us as Black people know when we get to doing that,
right,
somebody is ready to tussle or whatnot.
Exactly.
So when we sit down, and the first thing I ask somebody over here, I say, P.O., how you feeling it? And then Stacy go, well, FPO, what about Tyrone? That's the one who got hurt. Okay, let me get around to it. I'm asking the brother sitting next to me, chill out.
Right.
Why we have to go there? I'm not trying to pick up nobody crosses, but here it is. Why are we here? Why do we have this energy? We know what this energy means right now.
Exactly.
So that's a good point, Jay. So when Chris says we know how some people are going to respond, do you think he was talking about Jessica or Janelle?
Probably both, but I'm gonna go with Janelle because we know how she responds.
But I'll say this, Jessica. Like, one thing we can say about Jessica is that for myself, I can tell she's a very strong-minded, willed person. I know she's an entrepreneur. I know she's a businesswoman. So I know she can speak for herself. At that time, it was to be provocative. It was to provoke something. In that moment, you're trying to pick a fight. We know what it was. And we can't be mad at nobody. Like, you can use the word liar or not. But if you don't feel like getting in this battle, why are we gonna open up the can of worms and fight about something that we've already established, that Chris has said we have seen? How many episodes do we see? What episodes is this? 9, 10? At least 5 out of the last 8, 9, 10. He has said combative, soften, be soft, Right. At this point, it's redundant. So what conversation needs to be had? This was not a true let's have a discussion. This was its own. Because I'm sick. You rejected me. I don't have nobody else. I put all my eggs in this one combative ass basket. And the basket didn't want my eggs at the end of the day. My eggs were too damn hard. They were hard-boiled eggs. So because nobody want to crack my eggs, now I'm mad. No, baby.
No, but those conversations happen after every possible elimination, from Tequila, from Sierra. Everybody starts looking for answers as to how they can do better in what was said.
That wasn't about doing
right.
better.
But everybody, like, that conversation happens. It happens after every elimination.
Child, let me tell you some time. Who was it earlier? Maybe episode 3-ish, 2-3-ish. And for the sake of me being consistent, I have to be consistent right now. I can't say one thing then and say something totally different now, right? So in episode 2-3, maybe y'all can help, and maybe the chat can help remind me. Somebody was like, who said this? Who said that? And we're like, girl, why are you worried about who said it? Like, focus on you and your connections. But instead, what did Jessica do? She dismissed Marie. I ain't effing with it.
Yeah, she says she don't trust him. All right, she don't trust him.
Let me see. No, but because, and y'all know how it is. We don't always have the opportunity to pick who delivers the message. And I'm sure if they pick Chris, who's like, no, I don't want to give corrective feedback to her. I don't want to give corrective. No, that's that'll be too much. Him trying to be a gentleman. But what did she say? Like, she basically said, Marie, I'm off you.
Well, here's why she got pissed off at Marie. Because she was
told him to correct her.
No. So here's why I think she got pissed off at Marie. Because she's probably looking at Marie. First off, she's already triggered by the combative word in itself. And I'm sure that those two are aligned in some sort of alliance by now, right? And then for him to use that word towards her and then to throw it out there on national TV was probably a triple hurt piece. Like, yo, you are, man, we supposed to be lined up. Why would you even say that word? Like, I'm done with you. That type of thing. And not so much, oh, I'm done with you because, I'm so hurt. But, we supposed to be cool and you going to use that word towards me? Come on, man. Why would you do that?
Well, I can tell y'all this. And, I mean, I'm not trying to jump ahead to elimination, but I heard some tea. Never mind.
Please pour the tea in the private. Yeah, speak it. So obviously, like, everyone feels that, it wasn't a good situation, especially for Marie. Everyone's trying to check on him and pick him up and stuff. Kat even comes in. What else had happened? Right after that, even the fellas, there's a little chat with Janelle and Jessica. And even, the fellas try to, have a convo with Marie about it all, and basically saying that, he needs to have a chat with her and try to, make it right.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's going to have that chat with her via text message or whatever. Like, oh, damn, babe, I didn't mean to do that. And she probably like, you wasn't supposed to go all out like that. I mean, I get you trying to, throw Chris under the bus, but why would you use that word? Because it's the word for her. Like, that's the whole thing that just, that just burns her biscuits. Like, you say that word, it's like, no, I don't want to be associated with it. So
this is my thing. Like, we always preach, accountability. We always preach, things like that. It's just when it doesn't happen, it's only right to feel some type of way, right? We want to see growth. We want to see people be remorseful. We want to see people move on. And it's like we're not seeing that, right? Like, we're okay with the conversations. We're okay with you having an opinion. I'm okay with you feeling whatever you felt, in that moment, from her. Because I've been there, so I get it. But I feel like there is a way to address it all without continually avoiding it.
Yeah, there is. But again, there's okay. So with all of this stuff, there's just a lack in so much. Like, and I get it. You can be mad and angry at something at in that moment. Yeah, you go cool off or whatever, and you can come back. It just seemed like, I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm trying to understand where the fire is coming from this word. Like, you know, as kids, we were taught, you say what you say to me, bounce off me and bounces back to you and all that other stuff.
I'm
Like,
rubber,
you know what I mean?
I'm rubber,
Word.
you rubber, I'm glue, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you say bounces off of me and stick to you. Yeah, so it's what is it though? Like, why are you so like I just don't understand that. So I mean, I wish somebody could work this out and for me, because I just can't. I can't even wrap my head around why somebody is so hell bent on being called something like "fuck him." I'm sorry, "f him," and
I mean,
and get on with your life,
bruh. But when you got Flavor Flav sitting next to you, your number one hype man, like, I didn't understand, Janelle, why are you so vested in this moment? She a big girl. Let her handle hers. But no, like, well, I'm gonna keep it. Let me keep my tunnel vision on where we are right now. When you think about it. Think about it, P.O. Ty. You have beef with your girl or your ex-girlfriend. You're in a situation where you're with her and her bestie, and she's saying something to you that you know is gonna open up a can of worms. You about to engage in that? Y'all opening it, y'all popping the top. You want it? Because then you're not gonna look like a gentleman.
Right. I'm not getting involved with that shit.
Lose. And that's what I took Chris as, P.O. Exactly what you said. Not getting involved in this moment. That was a separate conversation. Not one in front of the room. And P.O. and Ty, I hope y'all extend me the male grace. I don't know if you call it from a masculine point of view. I don't know if you call grace from a masculine point of view. But I hope you extend me the grace as to if you're ever checking me, which Ty, P.O., I'm sure y'all have before. Y'all never did it in front of a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we go into the private chat, and you gonna say, "Stacey, come on now, Stacey."
Right, but I wouldn't be like, Stacey, I already know how you're gonna be, so therefore I ain't even gonna say nothing. You know what I mean? I'd be like, Stacey, you want to talk? Let's go talk.
But then, but in that moment with Flavor Flav next to you, that seems combative.
But that's all the more reason to make it.
You want to take it outside? Let's take it outside.
But that's all the more reason to separate yourself from Flavor Flav.
But so let's just be clear here. Let me just break this down with the words, and then you'll understand exactly what happened. So she already said this. I know exactly where these words came from. So then now I'm targeting you with this misdirected anger, right? I'm going to throw these jabs because I know what it is. Well, if you know where it came from already, why you ain't pull that man to the side and say, let me talk to you for a second, Chris? Because what he said, I'm hearing this stuff from you. This is where I heard it from. So what is really going on? I mean, have a one-off, but instead she was like, she used that as a platform, right? To cause all this additional ruckus and create a moment out of it.
But that would be accusatory, right?
How's
that would be accusatory because technically he never admitted to saying it. And now
but
she could be
saying,
so now
she's saying though.
But now the last 9 episodes. He's addressed this directly with her friend, with her.
That would have been extra. That would have been extra combative.
He talked about it till he was blue in the face. He has used the terminology with her before. What's the problem? And guess what the problem was? You couldn't enjoy a whole free retreat where they got meat, you got chicken wings.
We already know.
You got some raggedy ass kale, which I do like kale, but I ain't seen nobody like kale. Jay done left that kale. I'm saying that we knew what it was. Nobody wanted to be teamed up on. When I am addressing something with my son, right? And one of my daughters come in the room. Guess what my son say? Mind you, I'm addressing something one-on-one with him. And one of my daughters come in the room and they're like, yeah, Cam, I heard that. Cam says, why y'all double teaming me? Why am I being attacked at this moment? That's what the hell that was about to be. It was about to be Rumble WWE style. Come on.
Yeah.
We knew what that was. Nobody's walking into that. Nobody.
So that's a good point. Marie did present it as some of the guys, the way the guys feel. So we're trying to figure out who feels that way.
Because the guys all feel that way. I think in that moment,
and
because Marie delivered the message in that moment, she was probably so offended. She knew Chris probably used the word, but she was so offended that the other men agreed enough to convey that feedback to her. That's what it was.
No,
and real talk, they did. They agreed. But
they did it when they confronted.
Being called a bully squad, part of the bully squad, part of bully pulpit, that's not, we've heard that too often for 10 episodes. We've heard, remember when, what's it, Tequila left. I'm sorry. and I only say that, like, I'm not trying to butcher her name. But I joke around with some of my Latino friends and with their husbands, I be playing with them. And I often call tequila tequila just to, when you speak in Spanish and we're in the Spanish stuff, and then I Americanize it just to be funny. So I'm sorry, it's just me out of habit saying it. I don't mean any disrespect to her or her name. But tell me again, Ty, because I'm in Spanish mode right now.
Tequila.
So when Tequila was like, and you can get it too, now we know full circle in this moment what the hell she was talking about. So y'all can play if y'all want to.
I don't think it's that. I think we're overthinking it. I think you take the emotion out of it. There was something that was negative said about her. I think she has a right to ask who said it. And it's only frustrating if nobody admits to saying it. That's the frustrating part. So now she got to resort to feeling who may have said it.
No. She said, if you go back and rewind the tapes, brother, she said, I already knew where this came from.
In the confessional.
Yeah.
In the confessional, she said it.
Yeah. So if you knew where it came from, why in the hell are you asking who said it?
Because now she has no choice but to know who it came from.
Nobody said it. So what do you mean? She said she knew that ahead of time, bro.
Listen, that would not come out if somebody would have admitted it. If you would have just admitted it, then it wouldn't have come out. Like that came out in a confessional, right?
It was going to come out it was going to come out. Regardless.
But it didn't have to come out in a confessional if somebody would have been like, you know what, I said it.
Understood. But you have to understand, state of mind is what we're talking about here. The state of mind says that I already knew who did this in her state of mind. I'm just confronting him because I want him to say it to my face. That's what that was. And that was a state of mind deal. And doing so is you're launching this off to sort of intimidate him so that he could feel that uneasiness.
So for instance, if you found out one of the fellas called you a bitch ass, right?
Right.
Are you going to be like, you know what? I'm not a bitch ass. Therefore, I'm not even going to address it.
No, but if I knew
Y'all
who said
good.
it, but
I
if I
already know
knew,
who said
but
it.
if I knew who said it,
But you
if I
don't
knew
know.
who's,
You have
well,
an
yeah,
idea. You have an
no.
idea.
All right, but my
You have
thing
an
is,
idea.
but she didn't say I have an idea. She said I know exactly where that came from. And so if I know exactly who said bitch ass, I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. Nobody gonna say nothing. That's all right. I'll talk to the person that said it.
But that means she
Period.
lied because she said
But
she knew
there's no
exactly
proof.
where that came from. Janelle said it in that moment, and yet she went around the house for the rest of the episode.
And you know what?
You said
And
it.
exactly. And you know what I would have said, Ty, in that sense? I would have said, okay, well, apparently,
Said your daddy.
apparently there's only one bitch ass in here because they ain't stepping forward.
Daddy.
You feel me? So it is what it is. You know, we know what I am not, though, right? Okay.
So, y'all, so if
The
I
end.
wait in this moment, if I can quote, and I know y'all often don't like to discuss Ready to Love Miami, but if I can quote the great Charisse, I will say, "You big bully." Y'all know my ADD be everywhere, honey.
I think you just leaning. I think you just leaning, Chris.
Bully, you're bullying me, and you're being combative.
I think you're just leaning, Chris, but it's all good.
Well, first of all, I had to get perspective. So I actually caught Chris on another podcast. Dear Wifey with Latarius. He's excellent. He's out of Dallas. Great guy. Met him before. Awesome. I might have rubbed him wrong. Y'all know when Stacey be Staceying sometimes. However, you know, only when I'm a lightweight. So it ain't really my fault. It was the other one. It wasn't me. But I will say this. It gave me perspective. Him with his sister gave me perspective. So I didn't have time to rewatch the full, first retreat episode here in Dallas because I was trying to be like, okay, let me figure out who this guy is and let me see what he got going on. And it made things make sense to me.
I have no idea what that means, but okay, I trust you.
All right, so what's the next segment?
You big bully.
So they go fishing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they go fishing.
Gold fishing. They ain't go fishing. They were gold fishing.
Yeah.
And then Janelle had Quentin in the sunken place. Yeah.
Say that again?
Janelle had Quentin in the sunken place.
Yeah, so I did get this. There's a little interruption. Would you call it an interruption?
Interruption on hate.
I mean, that's the job that you got to do. When you're out there, you ain't supposed to let somebody just, woo your person off you. I get that. However, Janelle,
you big bully.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, don't you feel like you should have some type of confidence in your connection? I also feel like, for some reason, I want to say it most likely didn't go down like this.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think that might have been in reverse, to be honest, or something. But they made it look like that. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know.
Because let me get a woman's perspective. Well, not the woman's, but this woman's perspective. Let me tell you something. If I know what I'm bringing, if I know who I am, I ain't about to stalk you and harass you. Y'all can ask anybody I've ever dealt with. Do I look at your stories? Am I stalking you? Am I interrupting your day? Can you have a conversation? Can you go be a freaking fitness trainer and work people out without me coming in and interrupting your money? Yes, absolutely. Because I know who I am as a woman. I know what I brought to the table. Hell, I brought the goddamn on table. Okay? So when you out there with your Nabisco bag and you're allergic to little self of goldfish, go ahead, baby. Dabble with the peons because the queen is in here eating her grapes out of a Ziploc bag, baby. On the sofa in the air conditioner. Reruns of Ready to Love until this time.
No, it was this, then this, and then I think we ended up with this. So story.
I'm not about to wear the whole damn retreat long. I'm going to come in some good, sexy shit. I'm going to sit my ass on the sofa and be waiting. Eating me some Pringles while catching up on some reality shows. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Bay out there. Okay, he'll be back. He'll be back.
This picture right here.
Because let me tell you something. He'll be back.
Go back to that one slide, Ty.
Which one? This one?
This slide. This one? No, the other one.
So it was this one, the interruption,
and
then the response to the interruption. And then they show them walking away. And then we get this.
Ain't that a bitch?
Now wait,
ain't that a bitch, look?
It's just one frame. It's just one frame. Lee, don't be mad at me.
Ain't this some shit?
Ty,
I can't believe this shit.
Shout out to our girl Sabrina. You know you gotta give that Sabrina disclaimer. You know I just clicked.
You're right. I didn't mean nothing about taking a screenshot of this specific frame.
But let's
right here.
Really, dude, you're in such a sunken place. I'm out here, get my hair frizzy, entertaining you and these little ass fish that you can't even touch. First of all, I was so disappointed in all men, probably except for one, whichever one that could fish. How y'all don't know how to fish? Wind it up, throw it, hook it. Y'all do that on a regular basis with your roster. You couldn't demonstrate that in real life for the people? Y'all out here. Let me tell you something. I like me a hunter-gatherer man. You better know how to fish. You better know how to scale it. And baby, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to fillet it and cook it up for you, baby. But you got Janelle also so out of touch with stuff talking about, baby, you got dinner. Now, who is that going to feed? You had to throw that back in the feed. That was a guppy, sis. We don't eat them kind. Having context would go a long way. But that ain't my business. That's not my journey.
Next one.
Yeah. All right. So the very next scene, I believe it was Chris who interrupts Phil talking about, can I borrow my girl?
Okay.
And then Chris and Lee have an exchange. He gets her some slippers, which she really enjoyed.
Right. That's what's up. Wise man, Chris. I think this was, this is great for him. He's progressing, he's moving forward, and he's, flushing Jessica out of his system. He's good.
So before y'all be critical about the dang on shoes.
Was they Louis, Gucci, Fendi?
Versace.
There's Versace. Okay.
And so a little bird came and sat their big old self on my shoulder and whispered something in my ear, and I was like, chirp, 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 chirp. What? Evidently, Chris reconnected with Lee's best friend, right? And was like, what is something she's always wanted? I want to do something special for her. he got her exactly what was on her list of things to get for herself.
Oh, that's nice.
So before y'all come for old boy.
No, I'm not coming for him. I'm not coming for him at all.
I know, exactly.
No, not y'all.
You're in Chris defense mode.
Man, I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about what a chat. What them. Them and them. Depending on where your screen is. Sorry, guys. Before everybody comes.
Smooth says shout shoot.
So evidently he went out of his way and made sure they were delivered. It was like a quick processing. So whatever their connection was, he wanted to do something special for her. He reached out. It wasn't just like a whim. Oh, I'm all this and all that. Let my money do something for someone. It wasn't that. It was actually a thoughtful gift. So
I don't mind the gift. I actually want to see people go at it. You know what I mean? I want to, like, we've been asking, who does Chris like? You know what I mean? Like, at more of a emotional level that's going to make him, you know, we saw one scene where he got a little vulnerable in front of Aries, right? And I asked, does he like her as a mate, as a partner? Because we wasn't seeing that. Or does she just get him emotionally gooey? Like, who does he like? So my question was, how come we didn't see more of this, you know, from the show, from the producers? Because I feel like it would have made a lot more sense. And then the other thing is, this is day 2. Where was he hiding those shoes? Do you know what I mean? And he must have planned this. And if he planned it, then what's the point of the very next scene where he's taking Aries by the hand?
I don't think he planned it. And
he brought him. How'd they get there? They didn't instantly
I think
show up.
He had him next day, same day. I think he went out of his way. So I don't know in what order was the Aries situation. And, you know, you still got to give attention.
At this point, I don't think you have to. You're at the mansion now. This is where you're supposed to go all in my opinion.
That's true.
And unless he had him overnighted.
No, I feel like he might have had those in the trunk of his car all that time.
But Stacey just said he went and did some research, connected with the best friend.
I mean,
so some research had been done.
He might have done that.
They weren't in his car. If you listen to what he said, he said, I didn't think they'd make it in time.
Yeah, so fair enough. So what he probably did was maybe he might have cashed out the homie or something and said, yo, can you go grab these? I'm ordering them. Could you go grab it or whatever from such and such and such?
And run them up here to this location.
Yeah.
It don't matter. That shows effort. Women are always complaining about, I know I have, about people's effort. This was freaking effort. So we don't know if this actual presentation, this presentation of arms, was done at the end of everything. We don't know the order, the true order. But I will say, from what the birdie told me, he went out of his way, definitely, to make sure it happened for her. So.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, that was a period with a T on the end.
You got to come off mute, though, my brother.
Yeah, I have no issues. What I'm saying is I would have liked to see more of this. I would have liked to see more.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, yeah. Can we take a quick pause just for 1 second?
Sure.
Okay, I just want to put everybody on this. Sorry about that, brother.
I don't hate him. I love it.
I mean,
what is that? What is that, Paul? What does that mean?
Everybody hates Chris. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite shows.
Everybody hates Chris. I mean, because they saw how he went out in the end, and we'll get there. But
Okay.
You know, this is why the chat is so rowdy with Chris. We'll get there.
I think we'll get there. We'll get there.
And they shouldn't be. And they shouldn't be. I can't.
Chris,
Yo,
Chris, Chris, I want to get paid as your lawyer. We'll fix it, or we'll lawyer in the end. Kind of. But go ahead. What is this face for?
All right. So this is the end of the very next major scene. Marie finally has a conversation with Jessica. You know, he was a little nervous about it. In the end, she's still a little bit angry and says that they should just keep it pushing. There was a statement that she made. I couldn't make it out, but it was she either said, I don't know if I want to stay here no more, or she said, I don't know what I'm going to say tomorrow. But I listened to the audio like 20 times and it just sounded like gibberish during this scene. I couldn't make it out. If someone else can make it out, or if someone did the closed captions, let me know. But basically, she thinks that they should keep it pushing. And definitely feels that Marie got that verbiage from someone else.
Marie got that verbiage from the front of his cerebrum.
Sure.
Cerebellum. How about that? It was in the front, it was in the medulla oblongata, it was in the left side, it was in the right side, it's in everybody's side of the brain. So they need to quit playing. They might use other adjectives. Oh, wait, not adjectives, synonyms. No, yes, synonyms. They may use other synonyms. However, they were all thinking it. They know who's with the bully pulpit, so they need to quit faking the fun. Come on, let a real man out. Because P.O. and Ty, y'all never would have threw anybody under the bus. And y'all never would have been like, use exact verbiage from anybody in the line. Let's be real about it. Unless that's how you felt. And that's all I'm going to say.
All I'm saying is, if I was the one that said it, I would have said I was the one that said it. That's the only thing. When asked in that situation, if I didn't say it, I would have said it wasn't me. And if she would have kept asking the room, polling the room, she would have got the answer. If I did say it, I would have said, hey, I said it. I didn't mean it that way. You know, if you took it, you know, the way that you took it and you feel really, really bad about it, that wasn't my intent.
Right.
Or I would be like, you know what?
10 at the time, so.
Or I would be like, you know what? That was my intent, because these are some of the things that I've seen from you. And I've been trying to tell you that for the longest time. But you haven't been listening. It doesn't mean you got to fight, right? It doesn't mean, you know, you got to, you know, run away from the situation or try to avoid it and spare her feelings. You know, if it is what it is, then it is what it is. It's not like he calling her, you know, out her name. It's been my experience, something that she had already agreed to. You're, you know, you're okay. I'm okay with you having your experiences and your feelings. Boom. Yeah, I said I would have gotten the smoke from Janelle.
Y'all know I'm a Googling.
I would think I would have been able to have a conversation with Janelle without it getting there, going there.
Well, y'all know I'm a statistician. And I'm a Googling ass chick. So when I Googled stereotypes for Black women, like adjectives of stereotypes for Black women, combative did not come up. I'm not saying it's any less offensive, but I'm just saying address the elephant in the room with the elephant in your own room.
Right, but there's also
it's called having couth. Like
right.
if we have, let me tell you something about me. And I don't know how many other people in the chat feel this way, but if we have talked about something until I was blue in the face, we've addressed it and readdressed it, redressed it, found other words for it, soften up, all these other terminology, like all this other terminology for it.
Yeah.
Why are we here? And why is this? Why are you as a woman? One, I'll never show my hand. Two, I will never allow someone's perception of me to dictate how I move. You move like this? I was sick of this episode. Why are we talking about this one dumb thing that we have addressed and redressed for how many episodes?
But we haven't.
Yes, we have.
No, we haven't. He hasn't admitted to it.
The word.
He literally told her directly.
When?
This stuff.
When?
Episode 4, 5, 6.
We're talking about the combative part.
He said it before directly to her.
So he did say it. Are you saying he did say combative?
Yes, absolutely. He said it directly to her. He has addressed her being combative. You need to soften up. He's used all that verbiage before.
He did say that before to her. Yeah.
Okay, but he's saying that he didn't say it.
No, he said it to. Listen, Tyrone. If you go back to the episode where when they're asking him, when she's asking him, did you say it? Did you say it? You know, the messy ass producers popped in the clips of when he was saying to them or saying to her in several scenes, you're combative, you're being combative, things like that. So that's how she understood exactly where it was coming from, right? And I'm sure that he used that terminology in the men's lounge several times. And I'm sure that Maury went in there and called up and was like, yeah, you know what? You know, fuck Chris, you know what I mean? He in the lounge calling you combative and all this other shit. Man, you know, I don't know why he, you know, trying to get him out of the game. So, I mean, yeah, the producers showed those parts twice where he called her combative.
Right. So we understand that part. I think the issue is not owning up to it.
So she's saying, but he said it. Listen. If somebody says, Ty, you a bitch ass nigga, twice to you, right? And then goes and somebody in the group like, yo, Ty, somebody over here in the group of us men, they feel like, you know, you a bitch ass nigga. You know who said it.
Right. So at this point,
it was confirmed.
Okay. So at this point,
because they said, well, we know where that came from because he directly said it to her. And
right.
She obviously just
and you're right. At this point, and at this point, I would be feeling a type of way, and I'm gonna need to let the room know what the truth is.
Right.
So
exactly.
if I ask you, did you say it, and you can't admit that you said it in front of everyone, then we know what the real is.
But
right. Exactly. But so
but you're not gonna be like, I already said it to your face. No,
I mean, our relationship is not for everyone in this room.
Listen,
we don't have a relationship
between us.
I think
they got a relationship. They have relations. They had some. You know what I mean? She dragged him around a whole damn hoedown, Ty. She dragged him around a hoedown to make sure he would be back. He told her to be softer. She brought him some dry ass rice pilaf to a muddy ass construction site. Ty, let me go, because you done made my pressure dog.
Just as what was I gonna say? Self-love Lux, and the Dahlia Aya. That's just my terminology.
That was just an example. Is an example we brought up. That's all. To try to show, you know,
because that's what a man would consider to be offensive to us. Like if I said, Tyrone, you combative, man, he's gonna be like, Okay, whatever.
Stop being soft. Stop being soft.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
You got a problem with me? Bring it to me. You know, if you don't say nothing to me, then I don't know you got a problem with me.
Right. And I mean, I was called combative on in my season. I didn't give a shit.
Right. Do we have anything else to say about the conversation with Marie and Jessica?
Listen,
No.
it
was marshmallow soft.
I'll tell you, I'll say something about that conversation. The conversation, like, you keep it pushing and I'm keeping it pushing, and then the next two scenes, y'all doing a PO and oh girl. Because you said you're pushing, right? If somebody tell me to keep it pushing, guess what I'm gonna do?
Okay. All right.
Push your ass off a cliff. Bye.
In the very next scene, Chris and Aries have a conversation, innuendos about feelings and being on target.
No, I know this is filler right here. This is just filler episode because just you can tell by the way the body language is saying, look, man, don't you even try it. You already know.
But you see him snatch her up, grab her by the hand.
Yeah. But that's because he was told to, try to make some magic in this moment. She's like, come on, man, get off me. What are you doing, kid? What are you doing? Chris, is this you? Yeah.
First of all, you can go back to that clip, Ty. First of all, you can tell from the body. Hold up, let me be specific. You can tell from the body spacing. You see how his hip is turned, and you see how her hip is turned to the left and he turns to the right. They trying to miss each other real quick. These are friends. At this point, they're great friends. And let me say something. If I'm about to be shooting an arrow, baby, let me say something. You better be holding my arm. You better be. I want to feel the thump. Get all up on me. Make me miss this shit. Make me miss it. Make me miss all my targets. I want to be a damsel daddy.
Did you just say what I think you said? You want to feel the thump.
Is that what you heard?
Did I hear that right?
I'm sorry. Is that what you heard? Because I wasn't on camera, so I don't know what you heard.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think this was definitely a produced moment. I know that there's really no true connection. There ain't nothing going on with that. We know that. We're smart enough to figure that out. There's no there was no magic spark. So
basically what we're saying is that it was filler.
It definitely was filler.
Do you think he was really trying to
Nah, I don't because I think at this point I think at this point in the game, he probably knew with Phil. Phil probably had the conversation like, you already know we locked in, bro. I mean, you try if you want, but we locked.
Well, what is that the guys of this season are pretty supportive of one another. They're pretty loctite. And so you are probably accurate, and this was a show of respect.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to make sure I get the right shots here.
No, you good, brother. Take your time.
All right. So the very next scene was. So we good with that, to be clear.
Yeah, we good with that.
All right. Next up, I have a feeling y'all may say something similar. Marie and Cat.
Man.
Cat don't need to go no god dang on where. Cat is mother freaking Cat. That is Cat, long leg, nurse Cat, honey. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, I feel like Cat.
I don't know. The men are crazy because I would have been coughing and stuff and be like, if I was a man, I would have been like, oh my gosh, Cat, I don't feel well. I think I have a fever. Can you come and check my lymph nodes on my
see when I see this date right here, I just look at Cat and I'm like, yo, I don't think there's anybody here for you. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, right? I just don't think that I don't think that the caliber of person that she needs is there.
Correct. I agree with another round. Highlight her stuff, Ty. Nobody there for anybody. You right.
Facts. But yeah, I just think that this is one of those situations where production is like, we need to push something. We got a show to sell. Let's push it. Maurier, step your game up. Get out there. And they probably told Cat, hey, we really want to see if you guys can connect here.
Mario was giving wings to production. Mario had to be giving him wings to production because
I mean
when Sierra left, that was the only thing I could have seen that might have been something that was something. Now it was fakely forced.
Yeah, but Sierra was giving me let me out of here vibes.
Well, Sierra they told, like, I want to say, when I was rewatching, okay, so when I was rewatching it, right, and I was looking at the feedback and stuff, and some of the feedback is like, okay, these are your expectations, Sierra. What are you gonna do? Like, you feel like this is what you deserve, so what are you giving back? So I just think like Sierra was pretty guarded. Like, she knew what she wanted, but she was afraid to show her vulnerability. And so I probably would have left, because like at one point she was like, I don't know, I ain't even unpack. And she said that after she saw Jessica giving Maria a plate. So we know she was feeling him in some way. And I probably would have liked to see her another episode for their exchanges. To be honest, it should have been a non-elimination. This should have been a non-elimination at the beginning of the episode. It should have been a non-elimination of the women, because I would have liked to see her on the rest of the retreat and like, let's see what happens.
Apparently she never unpacked. I almost thought I saw her run out, because when they show her walking away, she had a very long walkout. So they was recording that for a while.
Because she recognized the fakeness of the fake Jessica, fake Maria shit. It's all of a sudden, fruit. Let the two apples fall together. Let me find an apple that's dropping right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So real quick, we're an hour and 20 minutes in. Normally we would be on connected to Sabrina's channel. Definitely go send some words of encouragement to Sabrina. She is taking some time to herself right now. She did put a 16-minute video out explaining some things that are going on with her. Essentially, she is in a happy place, but just wants to take some time off to make sure she's good. All right. So no need to worry about her physical health. She's good. I talked to her for a little bit last night.
Let's say what it is. when everybody has everything to say all at one time, it can be overwhelming. We've been there before. I know, like, after I stopped filming and on social media, I was getting all this dumb shit from people that didn't know me. Damn sure didn't know me. Didn't know my circumstances, saw the little however they edited my email.
Are we talking about? I'm talking about Sabrina, not
Right.
Sierra. Okay.
I'm giving an example.
Okay.
You know what, Ty? You're being very combative and you're interrupting me.
No, I thought you were talking about Sierra. I thought, you know what?
What I'm saying is that we can understand Sabrina needing to take a slight hiatus from everybody's everything. Because, like, for us, we don't just get like comments. We get DMs, we get texts, then we get our family jumping in. It's so much. It was so much. And I can agree with her for like, okay, listen, I allow my children once every semester to pick a day and take a day for mental health. I'm going to call your doctor and we're going to get a doctor's excuse because it's a real thing. However, you can't be mad at it. And we definitely miss Sabrina because, Ty, I ain't hating on your clips. But the preface before the clips,
Okay,
I
my
just
bad.
feel like, And right now you're in like moderator mode and you're not like really tying. And I feel like we missed the tying.
No, he's sliding. He's the real Ty is sliding in there every once in a while.
So I
You
don't
see
know.
how we've been disagreeing and all that.
I want to take this opportunity to say, Sabrina, we miss you, girl. But also, Ty, do it all. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all right, Ty. That's all right, Ty. Got to hold the fort down.
Like, let me get this. Let me get that. Like, you in work mode. No.
Hey, Stacey. Hey, listen.
I got it.
Listen.
Because me and you,
hold on, time out.
Me and you are in full agreement.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
But guess
we
what,
need
though?
somebody to interrupt this shit.
It could be.
Me and P.O. on the same page. That shit ain't normal. And then Ty over here, moderate, click, clack. No, Ty. Give your opinion and say some shit and tell me and P.O. that we wrong and that we need to get in touch with our feelings, our mental health, all this shit. We need you to tie. Ty, you're not tying. Ty,
okay.
definitely.
I'm in there.
But guess what, though? Guess what? It could be a lot worse because I could be, moderating and reading this shit, and they wouldn't want to hear that. I'd be like, these motherfuckers over here, they did this. And
no, because
you don't want that.
P.O. would have had a Mike Myers shit sliding in somewhere. Go get the theme music. P.O., I need everybody to do everything right now. Everybody needs to do everything. I'm doing me. This is what I do. I interrupt a little bit.
Yes, you are doing you to the max.
I get a little bit. I'm doing my job. But y'all two are epically failing, and I feel like both of y'all are being
Stacey, P.O., do we have anything else about Marie and Kat? What are our overall feelings?
So my overall feelings on this one right here is that this is a coached situation. See what you can get going on, and that's that, because we need to save the show.
I think Marie need another check, honestly.
Right.
Because I feel like
he got the wings up.
Who was in that position last season? Somebody that was just good. Somebody was just good filler. Was it Anthony? Yeah, it was Anthony. Who I was saying anytime they need like a halfway decent scene, they would throw Anthony in there.
Right.
So
I didn't know.
Kudos to you.
I didn't know that because I felt like Anthony was a wholesome person.
Right.
And he didn't need no RTL checks.
Okay. So we got Aries and Phil also on a date. Aries says that she needs to start digging deeper.
Oh, come on, Aries. It's too late for that.
No. My bad. Before that,
Okay.
no, before that, it was Quentin and Janelle. So I just want to make sure that I don't miss them. I do have a screenshot. Yeah, so there was also a date with Quentin and Janelle. I will pull the screenshot up, but while we're
don't worry
waiting
about
for the
that.
screenshot,
We can just talk about it.
Let me know what you're thinking.
Quentin's in a sunken place. He can't get out. He's just there. And Janelle has him.
But why y'all, okay, can I ask y'all, the men, Ty, Pio, why do y'all feel like he's in a sunken place? Because,
Well, I mean, I feel like this here.
His body language and his like side eyes say otherwise.
Okay, but see, here's the thing: is this here? You gotta grow a set and be like, "Yo, looky here, man. I'm out here trying to do my thing with these other dates of whatever." But you gotta go out there and say, "Listen, you keep interrupting me, and that's cool. You know where we stand, but I still gotta play my part to make sure that I'm getting the most out of my experience here." Now, if you don't want to do that, then just go tell production, yo, I don't want no more dates with nobody but her. If it ain't her, let me go. Let us leave together. Period. Otherwise, you have to be a man in this situation and say, yo, you need to ease up just a little bit, man. Like you all up on my, let me out here a little bit. And he's like, when she comes, he's like, yes, dear. And it's like instantly, nobody else is, alive but her.
I think that's a good thing. I'm not hating on that.
No, in the real world, yes. But in this experience, when you're supposed to be able to be open for all people, it's not a good thing.
But I think at this point they're done. They've done.
Well, but this has been going on when he was outside frying chicken wings with his shirt off. Or
yeah, I feel like he's just having fun because he's probably living stress free right now. Like Kat asked him, is he spoken for? And he didn't hesitate. He said, yes, absolutely.
But he said yes because old girl, they were in the middle of an interruption, and old girl was already there being Flavor motherfucking Flav. Hey.
One thing we didn't hear was when she said, does everyone else know that? But then we also see a new revelation at the end of this episode that Quentin still seems undecided.
Undecided with Lee. So he's still giving her something.
So my thing is if you undecided, bro, you need to put your shit down and be like, look, man, I understand you ain't got nobody else here for you, and that's cool. But me, I got shit going on. Let me do what I'm doing. Period.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
But did y'all see? I think that before all of the Quinn likes this certain type of woman, Quinn was a different Quinn. And then when he got all of this feedback about this is what he about, this is what he about, then he just clung. So do y'all think like this is just like a safe face thing?
I think we mentioned it. I think they probably reached the point of no return, and I think at that point we already know Janelle ain't one to be messed with, so I don't think he would risk it.
But anytime you gotta be your relationship is so lopsided where you're afraid to be you and you're not being honest. I mean, y'all was giving it to Chris. Let's be real about it. He's still talking to Lee. He's given her enough to keep her there. So that means that he ain't shut off his possibilities. But whenever an outside force is present, he got the hush mouth and let someone else speak for him.
But see, that's the problem right there. Like a real, like, I'm not gonna call him. I'm not even gonna say that. But traits of leaders, I'll say that, is they are going to speak for themselves. They're going to say, "Oh, hold on, babe, I got this. I got this. Let me do what I need to do," and not sit there and be like, "Well, she said it. You heard." You can't like have a woman talking for you as a man, like, because then that whole relationship is out of order. And if it's out of order, then it's going to be out of control, period. And so basically she's setting the stage right here, right now, saying, look, dude, I'm going to be running all this shit and you're going to be at home and you're going to make the house, pretty much. She's
wow.
Yeah, she's telling him your car is going to be parked in the garage and you ain't going nowhere until mommy comes home.
That's what you're getting?
Yeah, because when a woman starts to speak for you, right? I've had that happen to me before. And I let it slide. Like, I was in the middle of saying something and she over talked me. And I let it slide in that moment. And then when I rolled the window up on the car, I was like, yo, don't ever talk over me. If I'm talking, I got it. When I need you, I'll tap you in, but don't do that. Period.
Wow.
And as a man, though, that's how you handle stuff like that. You only he's grown. He is not living under his mom's roof. So at the end of the day, as a man, nobody else out there should be playing your mother, especially when you're sitting at the dinner table with her in a romantic situation.
So he should have overtalked?
No.
How the way Chris overtalked Aries?
Not at all. Not at all. No, not at all. You shut that shit down though. You have to say, hey, listen, I understand, but I got this. Or he could have stepped up in that position and stepped up in that moment and said, hey, hang on, babe. I got it. This is what I have to say. Right? Because if you put her in she's mad bullish on here, like when in their relationship, she's mad bullish in it.
So I want to bring up some points. They did talk about some things that I think are really important for a relationship. Probably one of the first times it was even brought up this season. But she did mention that she was looking for examples, of what makes him happy. They talked conflict resolution and they talked love languages, which I think is very important, right? Also, I feel like apology acceptance is also very important, and it could have helped, an earlier situation if we would have just understood the basics of apology acceptance. It's not about how you feel about the situation, what you think of the situation. It's about how the other person feels about the situation. Quentin mentioned that he also needs to feel appreciated, and she likes him and wants to make sure she gives him what he needs. And I think, there were some scenes in here that I think they may use, to show their journey, because it seems like, they were closing their relationship out. It seems like production, was closing them out, sign, seal, deliver, but still want to keep some drama.
So do you think they would be closing out if Herbert was still here? Secondly, I want to go back. I want to go back to what P.O. was saying. P.O., Jesus. Wow. Is there a full moon? What the hell is going on? Yeah.
Hold on, let me break that shit up before you even start. No,
yeah.
Go ahead.
What you bringing up, the moon?
No, go ahead.
P.O., what you said about being a man and saying, look, babe, I got this. That shit was sexy. I'm a strong woman. I'm an opinionated woman. I'm an independent woman. And when my man can take the lead and be like, babe, look, I appreciate you feeling like you need to defend me, but I got this, baby. I got this for me and for you. Oh, I felt some butterflies. I need to go have a yoni steam.
That's your style.
Sexy as hell. I don't know. Somebody lying if they ain't like it. So, P.O., I love and hate to agree with you on that point. The second point was, I feel like in real life, Quentin is somebody different than who we're seeing right now.
I can agree with that.
This wouldn't fly with him in normal circumstances. This ain't his life. I would be turned off by a bully because it's like, it's not even who you are to me, who you tailor yourself to be to me, is who you are as a person in general. So I feel like my radar is like, oh, okay, you can front and you can act like this to me, but what the record is showing how you are to people resonates a little bit more with me than who you're trying to make me believe you are. I love the fact that we did see some vulnerability and stuff from Janelle. However, by episode 10, y'all didn't have these conversations already? Y'all didn't know this about each other? Y'all so locked in. Y'all, what Gloria? Y'all Gloria. Clank, 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 clank. Really? Y'all just have these conversations? But you locked in. Y'all locked in though. But you ain't noticed? We ain't have a love. First of all, let's talk about how generic and basic a love language conversation is. Because if a man ever comes to me about what's your love language, off. That's commercial at this point. Turned off. Bye. Go to McDonald's. Get you some chicken nuggets. Matter of fact, you use your app and get the cheap nuggets. No, sir. I'm done. Now, we're not doing that. You need to tell me who you are from your own words. I need to know who you are. I'm cool. And Tara's Moon, I see you saying it's a conversation starter, but they're supposed to be locked in. The conversation should have been started already. They should be talking about the future. We damn near at the reunion at this point. Why are we just having beginners conversations? This some bullshit.
All right. Let me try to unpack that. I'll work backwards. Yeah, I mean, I feel like once you start getting serious with someone, you are going to start asking those questions about, how they were raised. And I think that was something that he didn't know as well. I think he might have missed the fact that she was adopted. Hopefully I got that right. Right?
How? Because that was a known fact from the jump. Everybody knew that.
Yeah. So yes.
How did her main connection miss the fact that she was adopted and we one episode from the reunion? But do you go off, Ty? Go off. Go off.
No. I really don't have nothing negative to say. I feel like they may have he feels let me start over. I feel like he's just in a comfortable place with her. So he may not feel the pressure to have those types of conversations. Do you know what I mean? It feels like he may have the time to have those conversations. That's why we were complaining about missing the intentionality, especially amongst the men. But to go back about, her behavior and how she was acting, I don't feel like he was seeing a lot of that, and I felt like when he did see it, I think he saw a little bit at the mansion the very first day. You could tell that, he didn't like it and he was trying to process the words.
Everybody
the same way they still sit in the lounge and talk about, I don't know Chris to be this way.
The same way some men are in love with booty and like booty size, and then when they get sugar in their tank, they be like, "Where did this come from?" Oh, I'm sorry, you were enamored and you missed the signs. My bad. Sorry, not sorry. Do that.
All right. Are we good with Quentin
No,
and Janelle?
I'm not good with you. I'm not good with you. I'm glad to have the old tie back. Thank you.
All right. Did we talk to Aries and Phil? That's next, right? All right.
Yep.
Let me get there. What? I'm missing it. I'll get it. Aries and Phil also have a date, and Aries talks about her needing to dig deeper into Phil. What y'all think of that? There it is. Paul?
What's up?
Aries and Phil.
First of all, you got an 857 credit score, so you're the only one. You're the only one equipped to have this discussion. So let us know.
No, I feel like this is I feel like Aries is kind of like, okay, none of the rest of these people's here for me, right? I mean, like, if anybody's here, I'm just gonna rock with this kid, Phil. But I don't know how invested she truly is in this. And then Phil, on the other end, I think that, he's just off limits. So, this is typical Aries and Phil. They're living their life. I don't really, this is probably a date that we didn't even need to have to see, to be honest, because we know the way that they're editing this up. I mean, it'd be like it would really be a catastrophic event if we didn't see them at the end. So they already set it up. They got us, salivating, saying, "Oh yeah, they're in." So we want to see how they look on the bridge.
Oh man, I don't know how this is gonna come out. I don't mean it in a bad way.
They ain't locking arms on the bridge, baby.
But it's starting to feel like a little bit of strategery, on Aries' part.
Oh no, there will be no Aries.
You know what I'm saying?
No, there will be no Aries. What's the word? My ADD kicking in and these chips so good.
And it's justifiable, what she's saying. You know what I'm saying? Everything that she's saying, everything that she's asking, everything that she's inquiring about, the way that she's explaining it makes sense, right? And I think it's a really good way to
choose herself on the bridge.
Yeah, it's a really good way
to choose herself on the bridge. To choose. Bear with me, everybody in the chat. Let's say, y'all better type it with me. To choose herself on the bridge, because clearly some other red flags occur, and she, Queen Aries, is being so gracious, and she's just like, "Oh, it's something there. I can't put my finger on it. Side eye, insert side eye here. Oh, she's Sabrina in it. Sabrina 1.0 in it. I choose myself. Quote me. If I'm lying, I will apologize to everybody. And I'm out. Y'all know I'm dramatic. Yeah, she's choosing herself. Sorry to
You
these.
think? Paul, what you think?
The longer.
As far as what?
So you basically feel the same way. Oh, man.
Okay, so in the male's point of view, Paul, Phil is gonna Paul it. He's choosing himself.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that I think it might be a reversal. It might be a reversal. It might not be Phil doing that. It might be Aries.
Say that again.
It might not be Phil that's saying that. It might be Aries. They'd be like, you know what? I just have all kind of pause, and I thought it was what it was, but it ain't. So, I just have to let this ride out.
So clearly you ain't listened to nothing we just said. But okay, go eat your sandwich. I ain't no pickle. Because we just said that same shit.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, I said it's not going to be Phil that's going to do it.
No, but nobody said it was going to be Phil.
You just said Phil's going to do it, Paul.
No, after the fact when you started speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, now.
You didn't hear the first 15. I talked over Ty. I talked over you. I said that Aries was going to choose her damn self.
Yeah. No, I heard that.
God damn. Wake your ass up. Come
No,
You Janelle over there? Blink.
Yeah, right.
Janelle over there? Shit.
Never that. I feel like
First of all, Paul.
Well, first
to interrupt you, and y'all know how the way my ADD works.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love your frames. Those are
thank you.
Are quite handsome.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I just picked these ones up. What's up?
They're clear. The frames are actually clear.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
I love it. That is so manly chic.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I love it. You should stay on camera more often and quit doing what the fuck you doing. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Ty.
I was sitting there finishing up food. That's all. You know how we had to do it, hurry up and eat and then go back on camera and go off camera and eat. Same thing.
We almost there, y'all. We almost there. We almost done. So Aries, Phil, it's a consensus that we feel like they're not going to make it. I mean, the rumor is two couples is going to make it. They seem to be the strongest one, unless y'all think Marie is going to end up linking up with somebody.
So
this is me.
We know is Get Out Quentin and Bully Janelle.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Quentin should run his ass away ASAP and go holler at Lee. Because Lee ain't got nobody. Lee is dope. She looks good. You know what I mean? She's in the gym. They kind of got the same, lineup in terms of lifestyle. Man, yeah. I don't know what he tripping for. Bro, I would have been like, yeah, I understand. I understand, Janelle, you on that shit, but I'm gonna have to go over and ease up on Shorty.
Meanwhile, my advice to Lee, because we saw like a little beginner, what you call a sneak peek at her talk with Tommy. And my thing is, somebody sleep on you, sis, let them die in their sleep.
I mean, yeah, and then I don't know.
And die sleeping on me. Goodbye. We don't double back. Good luck with that, though. Wish you the best. Remember to get out.
All right. We got a couple more things.
If P.O. could have the flashing light, remember when what's it, Stanford Love, what's his name? Remember when they had when Daniel Kaluma took the picture, that flash, and old buddy Terry Stanford, whatever. I don't mean to mess it up. This is just honest mistake. And he like was like, get out. And then he was like, oh, that's where we at.
Oh boy.
Cat said it right. Sister Cat.
Right.
Sister Cat was calling.
It's reel it in.
Hold up, before we go forward, do you? I mean, just based off of this picture frame alone, do you think that that's Tommy sitting in the chair, or is he actually sitting in the chair on a pillow?
Oh, you did? My bad. I ain't gonna say I got nothing negative. I got nothing negative. I got nothing negative to say about Tommy.
I got nothing but love for Tommy. That's between you and Tommy.
Right.
Lord, don't put us in that shit.
Exactly. Paul trying to catch a brother slipping. No, Tommy good. He look nice and comfortable right there.
I mean, Jessica, P.O. Shit.
He look nice and comfortable. So the ladies talk about their tops and bottoms.
And then hold up though. The other thing is that I think he might wear like a size and a half bigger in shoe.
No,
come on, Paul. Those are some nice.
But I know, but can we zoom in?
Okay,
I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm back.
Will not have any. We will not
have any Tommy slander. Look like
yeah,
some Cole Haan. I think I have those Cole Haans.
Listen, Tommy.
Them is Alexander McQueen's.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, you could put 2 fingers behind those shoes.
Stop it. I'm about to mute Paul. Hey, Tommy, you just saw me mute Paul. I just muted Paul. Tommy.
I do not.
We would not have no Tommy slander.
No slander
around here.
Not that is a good man. I love him. He has been.
No, I know. I was just gonna say my suggestion for next season is they need to put a high chair in the lounge.
I'm about to bully your ass. Any slander you got to take your own goddamn page. It don't belong here.
If there was one thing funny that I could say about Tommy.
Go to P.O.'s page. It has nothing to do with the place to be. I love him. He's only been wonderful. Him and his wife. They are amazing. They're role models in my community.
They are.
Do not play.
I don't know either one of them.
If I could say one thing funny,
I know both. And let
it's the way that
if you want to know, you both can do it right now. Go to that sunken place. Go to the dungeon, Paul. Go to the dungeon.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay.
If there was one thing, it's the way that he struggles a little bit when the ladies first walk into the lounge.
Yeah,
you can see that he
like, oh man, I was 6'5". Man, I was.
He seemed to find a way to respectfully flirt with them all. Just like, remember the old Martin when Jerome used to look at Pam and be like, That's what I be thinking in my head.
All right, ladies. Yo, look at that leg of lamb over there.
You were like, he was never like that in our plan. You were never in the ladies' lounge.
He just said something about the leg. We can see him say something about the leg and all that stuff.
He was like,
that's a
nice leg of the
lounge.
Hold up. In the words of DJ Envy to Tyree, I was about to box you in the mouth. Don't get boxed in the mouth.
I feel like there was some things going on in the ladies' lounge. There was some feelings. There was some.
Yeah, nobody likes anybody. Look at that. Look at
right. Kat. I think they were quick being quick to be triggered.
Hold up.
You know.
Look how close Lee is to Aries, and look at Jessica. I don't want no parts of this shit. You can tell. You can absolutely freaking tell who nobody want to have parts of, other than Paul. It's Janelle and Jessica. Boom, body language. Just like my body. Y'all see I'm over here. I want to be Paul's bullshit.
So I think it all kind of.
Why is yours, Paul?
It went left when they started talking about the bottoms. Right? They seemed supportive when they was talking about who they was feeling. It seemed like it might have been a little something when I think I think multiple people have mentioned Chris. I think.
No, it wasn't multiple
But I
people.
think
It was two. It was two.
nigga,
What are you
that's
talking
multiple.
about?
That means multiple.
No, it means a couple, not multiple. Multiple
Okay.
are 3+.
Oh my gosh. All right. So a couple people mentioned Chris, and I think the second explanation, they tried to keep it cute. But I think once they start talking about the bottoms, everything went left for some reason. And it wasn't as bad as it sounded to us. But obviously in the lounge, there's probably a lot of tension, a lot of negative energy, and people seem to be on edge. You know,
negative energy is coming from one, maybe two people.
No, I saw Jessica explaining herself. She mentioned something about because he can't buy me nothing, and then
he was shading other women. Who does that?
That's not how I took it.
Because
That's
you're
not
a
how I took
man.
it. It's not how I took it. And then she explained it immediately. She said, "It's not about you."
She's lying because she's scared because Lee will box her mouth.
No, I think she was
Lee
trying.
will box her mouth.
I think she was saying it's because I don't need him for anything, and that seems to be an issue.
But Lee don't need him for shit either.
We're not even talking. But we're not talking about Lee. We're not even talking about Lee.
She was speaking on Lee. That's why Lee was like, "What you mean by that statement?"
Okay. Obviously,
I don't
know.
Let me mute myself. But
Nope, you got it.
Ladies Lounge. There's only one lady here, but go ahead, go off.
You know what? I'm willing to accept that.
Yeah,
I'm willing to accept that.
I
don't have no issue.
In this instance, though, I like Lee in the lounge. Lee, came in because Lee has always been just kind of, this level, but she came in on it. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I have no problem admitting that it might be a thing I don't quite understand.
Right.
If you've been chasing a man, what episode 10 is about? Probably like 6 weeks. And he purchased somebody else some Versace sandals and had them delivered in front of y'all at the retreat.
He ain't buy me no shoes.
You ain't think no shade? Don't nobody care about no Target shoes. They talking about Versace. He got that shit from Saks or the Versace store. This Dallas is something on a corner. Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus.
Yeah, you didn't get them
Whether it
from
was
6
delivered
p.m.
or he done cash up a friend to have him go get it the exact size, make my bag. I don't care. She was being shady. And Ty, you full of shit, sir. You're full of the shit.
Ma'am, I caught myself immediately. I know how to say yes. You know what?
I've been chasing you. In my brain, I've been chasing you and you calling me combative, but you get some other broad a gift you think as soon as I have the opportunity, I ain't gonna be slicking them out. And guess what Lee said? Get boxed in the mouth. Cause she looks like she does kickboxing at 4:30 a.m. baby. Play with
she was
Lee.
like, he ain't buy me no shoes.
I had to deal with him calling me combative, dragging my name and my reputation these last 6 weeks. Baby, let me say something.
Mm-hmm.
How do y'all feel about the way?
But the presumption that okay, so here's where the petty was. Like, oh, you need somebody to buy you something. Like, you fooled with gifts and you needy. So I can understand why Lee was like buck at that moment. Lee was, from what we can see this past 10 shows, Lee didn't bother nobody. She wasn't in no kind of quarreling. She ain't have no faces other than when she needed to deliver face at the retreat.
I mean, I don't have no issues. I don't have no issues. All right. What about when they were picking their bottoms? I did feel a little what's the word I'm looking for? Direct shade coming from Janelle when she was talking about Chris, saying that he has no he didn't have any connections, and the one that he just had just deteriorated or something like that, as she said.
How can she speak on somebody else's experience? That she don't talk to nobody but Jessica. Who are you? You're not the spokesperson. You're not the Wrigley's Doublemint twins.
Right. So that's why I was saying it felt a little different, you know, because of the reasoning that people were given were a lot different, and it just seemed like her reasoning was just a lot personal, and it had nothing. It really didn't have a lot to do with her experience with Chris. Aside from like the beginning, you know, she mentioned, you know, the way that he and her didn't have anything, but I don't know.
You're absolutely right, Ty. Ooh, ding, 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 ding.
It seemed like it was clear that Janelle wanted to get Chris up out of there.
Of course, because she want to control Jessica.
Yeah.
She needs somebody to vote the way she want to vote. She get rid of Chris, she's in more of control. If they didn't get rid of Chris, Jessica is gone the next episode.
That's true.
But we know production ultimately makes
right, because only 2 people wanted Chris to go home. Yeah, he went home, and there's 5 ladies. You do the math.
But we know the votes don't really, you know, the votes help, but you know, they don't really, you know. Only thing the votes do is just kind of nudge production in a certain way. But that's about it. They just kind of give production a feeling. They let production know how most of the people are feeling.
Well, but that's not. But that is true. But that's not true, because I can tell you, just from my season alone, in the lounge, and I'm not saying, you know, anything. Well, I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to name names, but there was one person that was definitely on their way out. And what ended up happening was, like, this person had like 6 votes and the other person had like 4. And they was like, well, yeah, we don't like you, number 4 votes. We don't like you as much as we do 6. So you're out of here. And
I get it.
They got bounced.
I get it. You know, but there's also the reverse of that.
Storyline too.
Where people have strong connections from the beginning, but still maintain.
Well, you don't really maintain. Listen, Phil and Aries, they knew they didn't have to maintain shit. They didn't.
No, I'm talking about your season. I'm talking about your season.
Oh, my season. Yeah, well, I got you on that.
Yeah. All right. So we good on the ladies' lounge?
Yeah, we good on the ladies' lounge.
All right. So after the ladies' lounge, we got Chris and Jessica, and then we had Marie and Aries. Which one do we want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Marie and Aries.
Okay. Let me find that date. Yes.
What you know what, Paul?
What's up?
I love it when you take the lead, Daddy. I was going to say the same thing, but because we're on the same demon time tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you spoke for me.
No problem. I can't even believe this even worked out this way.
How did this happen?
Yeah, what's the day? September 13th. Okay, I got you. So in this moment right here, Morier knew his goose was cooked. He was like, man, they done got me out of here. And then maybe when Jessica found out that she was the hammer, she probably shot him a text like, no, it's me. I'm I'm the one delivering that, that noise. And so, maybe he had a different comfort level, but I knew when I saw this, I'm like, man, they definitely not going to have her tell Chris that he's still ready to love. You understand? So I knew, this was just a BS thing. But Morier, he should have been out of here, bro. I don't know how you do it, man. You like the he's like the Teflon Don. You just keep coming back.
He's like P.O. in this piece.
Yeah, something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm like, dude, how are you doing this? Like, I don't know. But see, and that's the thing though, bro. I had way more connections than he did. Real ones. And
hell, P.O., I have more connections than he did, and I have none.
I mean, I'm like, how is he doing this?
This was okay. So tell me, okay. So what I'm gonna say is probably controversial. Okay. So if I'm thinking and I'm putting my lenses of production on, right? I was for TV purposes.
Oh, let me address Brand Yee. I had four solid ones. I had 4 solid connections on there. 4.
I did that on purpose because I
know
knew
you
was
did.
gonna be triggered. I knew Paul was gonna be triggered.
Not triggered. Paul triggered.
Because I had heard some stuff about Paul, so that's why I was kind of upset when I was watching, because I was like, Paul, you need
focus, Daddy.
Don't
get into something.
Just go at somebody. Come on, man. All right.
Yeah. I had him until I decided that I didn't want him anymore, if I'm being honest.
I'm sorry, did I smack out loud?
Here we go.
That was
they don't know how the show go, but they were there. They were there, and I cut them.
So okay, so P.O. and Ty, think about it.
Yeah.
We're thinking from a show point of view, and you know how sometimes eliminations can come down to the second, the absolute second. I'm sending Janelle to talk to Chris, regardless. This is our most controversial people. I'm sending Janelle. Janelle switched with Jessica. If I can make up some shit to happen, that is what I would think actually happened. But I don't know because I wasn't there.
So I know some people may volunteer. For the elimination date, I'll say it, I volunteered to go and talk to Courtney.
We never volunteered.
I volunteered. I was like, I know Courtney personally. There's no way I could sit here and let a bunch of strangers tell her that she's not ready.
Ty, say it again. That's in an instance when you are trying to coddle someone. This wasn't coddling. If anyone was going to coddle someone, it's Aries and Marie.
No. I get it.
So if anyone nominates themselves, it's because of your friendship, and that'll overrule. You're like, oh, because the same thing happened with KG in the resort season before he came on to my season. So that's a different thing. In my gut, which y'all know, this is like the mom gut. I think this was a last minute drop change flip between friends. And when one showed up, production was like, okay, we're rolling with the punches. And they made a call to the coddle one and changed the game. That's just me.
Hold on. So you're saying this about the Marie date or the Chris date?
Both of them. I'm saying initially, if I can look at this, because we know where the votes were. It was 3 against 2. 3 against 2.
I mean, so there's only two other options.
I can pick someone to gently let somebody down. In this instance, it will be someone who's nice and has no connection. It will be Aries going to let Marie down. And it will be me sending Janelle to give Chris some tough friend feedback, non-love. But the girls decided, even though I don't think you should be here. However, I feel like it was some girl code drop change flip. And instead of Janelle showing up, it was Jessica. And I think that this was a whole game changer. I think initially Marie was going home. And
no, they definitely
for the show, for it to make sense, for the show, for the next episode to be interesting, we would have still had Chris and Jessica beefing.
No, they tell you when you show up. They be like, hey.
You know that, but if they told Janelle, show up, you got a date with Chris. By this point, by episode 10, hell, by episode 5, well, you know what these dates are?
Right, so you saying...
I think Janelle called Jessica and was like, you go do this, I'm not. And it changed the game. I think that's exactly what happened because Aries is the perfect person to tell Marie, you're not ready to love. Jessica is the worst person to tell Chris he's not.
So you saying
the better for TV would have been Janelle correcting Chris because he was up 3-2.
So in order for that to be right, then both of the women would have had to switch it up.
No. Because Aries was originally going to let Marie down.
So
on scene, because mind you, Ty, we don't know what we about to say to these people until I was sitting there. I'm sitting there and they're like, okay, Stacey, this is what it is. And I was waiting on Troy. I was already there waiting on him. I was there. So I think Aries was there waiting on Marie. He didn't get there before Jessica arrived to Chris. And production made a change at the last minute. That is what I think. Now, whatever is factual and true and whatever, let that be. But in my brain, if you look at this, if you look at who's the messengers, Aries would be the perfect person to send somebody home right now.
It's two different locations, so that's gonna take some coordination.
It takes a phone call. It takes coordination between Jessica and Janelle. Friend, they want me to meet with Chris. You go do it. This would be great for you to go in on them. They had no idea. When we show up, that's when we find out. Only when we show up at the table and we're walking on the scene, that's when we find out whether we eliminating or correcting somebody, Ty. You know that.
So you saying they both showed up?
Oh my God, bye.
At the place? Like I'm confused.
Explain it.
I mean, I don't know if they did that. I mean, they might have switched up.
So Stacey's trying to say that Janelle originally got the call to eliminate Chris, but Janelle was like, nah,
Janelle
nah, sis,
to correct
you barbecue him.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying Janelle got the call to correctively barbecue Chris. She called Janelle and said, nah, sis, you do it. So when Jessica...
Who called Janelle?
Janelle called Jessica. So when Jessica showed up on scene, it fucked everything up and changed the balance. That is what I'm saying.
So are you saying Chris wasn't originally supposed to be sent home?
I'm saying that is what I believe.
No, he was gone.
The appropriate Chris was three pot affirmative. Marie was 3 canceled.
So why didn't Aries send Marie home then?
Because originally Aries was there to send Marie home, but Jessica showed up on scene with Chris.
Right, but once you get on scene, they still got to record it, and they're going to be like, "Hey, Jessica, what are you going to say?" But they didn't have to air it. Like if she got it wrong, they'd just rewind the tape and be like, "No."
Chris and Jessica might have been filmed 30 minutes before Aries and Marie. Act like you know, Ty.
You confusing me. But if it's not what production wants,
oh my God,
they would not have recorded it.
In the chat, do y'all understand what I'm saying? Oh my God. Bye, Ty. You're not tapping into your Ty.
So you're saying Jessica overruled production because she just showed up on set?
I'm saying she ain't overruled them. Production was thrown off. Their conversation went left, and they made a split-second decision, as they often do. As they often do.
No, because those are simultaneously happening all at one time. So they're not, making an emergency call over to the other production B staff to say, hey,
I'm gonna tell you,
we changed. Let's eliminate.
I'm gonna tell you. So when I was eliminated, it was a 1-woman elimination, and then some shit happened, and I got eliminated as well. Sometimes it's a split decision.
No, that's not the same.
Sometimes production just want to see reactions from people. Like Shiloh eliminated me, which definitely would make no sense. So sometimes production just want something.
You think it would make sense, Ty? I think it's provocative.
It gets the people going.
I think you knowing what you know and me knowing what I know, that would have been provocative. It would have
made sense in the end, but not make sense during.
Who had a corrective? Who also had a corrective date when you got eliminated? Remind me.
It was just me by myself that week. Maybe Corey. It was between me, Corey, and Sean. But Sean had just got there, so they eliminated 2 people my week.
So you think Corey shouldn't have gotten eliminated before you?
No, they eliminated us at the same week. They had 2 eliminations my week, huh?
I feel like that was an add-on.
I don't know what it was. Did you just call a nigga an add-on?
I think if someone else would have been there to have a discussion with you, you would have gotten eliminated.
Yeah. Basically, I don't know how that shit works, but I don't think
this?
I think production was sending Chris home from the get-go.
Yeah, listen, when I was up for the corrective date or whatever, right? I had to take somebody else's bullets. There was 2 people, one, I think Cornbread, and then.
Did you say balls?
No, I took bullets. I took somebody else's bullets because when I got my corrective, whatever, they truthfully, the person whose names came up my name didn't even come up. Their names came up in this lounge, and everybody was pissed because they wanted him gone. And then they didn't understand why, Cornbread was out, and then I had to stand in there and do the corrective date. That's why I went off on it. Like, man, I don't know what y'all talking about, man. Get out of here.
I mean, I think
they do that.
Yeah, I think in the end, I wasn't giving them enough to continue with a show. So, I'm good.
Yeah.
So we're good with that.
Yeah, with
Like I said, I would have
Laurier
chosen
and Aries. Yeah.
if I were going to eliminate Chris, for TV, I would have chosen Janelle to do it because she was far more outspoken. She was far more flavish.
So
why are you worried about Maurier when somebody else here?
So in my opinion, I think, at this point, they're trying to show her in a good light.
But that wasn't a good light. It was.
So no, I'm saying they're trying to show Janelle in a good light. So her eliminating someone
Janelle
wouldn't
cannot
be it.
seen in a good light.
So in the end, the show is a show, right? So I feel like Janelle's going to end up being one of the couples. So
yeah, most
they
definitely.
can't.
But but it's not being believed by the fan, by 90% of the fan base.
Right. They don't care. So
the fan base thinks it's bullshit.
Right. It don't matter. So when you, especially with the women, when they get towards the end, when they have the women that make it, then they start to they start to big up the woman and they start to remove all the negative thoughts that you may have had about her. Right. So all of the bullying and all this stuff. And also I don't really feel like Janelle would have handled that Chris date, the Chris elimination, that nicely.
Correct.
So don't put her there.
Based on what you're saying, that makes sense. Based on what we've seen from Janelle, it doesn't. Janelle is not going to be seen by a majority based on social media feedback, even on the platform. She's not going to be seen in a positive light. And Quentin, at this point, their relationship is not going to be seen in a positive light.
Okay, so at this point,
okay, I'm going to say this. So you know how Cornelius and Dr. Camille, they got their fair share of negative feedback. But at the end of the day, it was believable. This shit ain't believable.
Yeah. Right.
This shit, like what we're saying, get out, run for your life, run for the hill. No, you got people that don't agree on conception. You got people who can't express themselves. One person is overbearing, the other person tongue-tied. You got one person acting like they're all in only because Herbert's gone. The other person still dabbling, dragging on the side.
But I think
it's not believable. And there's no way to reclaim Janelle's reputation. They framed her as a mean girl. They edited her as a mean girl. It is not a believable love. It's not a favorable love.
So that's the thing about the show, like ending up on the couch at the end together. If your journey wasn't perfect, the people's gonna hate on you. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, like Cornelius and Camille are still together.
But
you know what I mean?
So what I'm saying, I'm not comparing them to them. I'm contrasting them to them. Because Cornelius and Dr. Camille, they're still together. They're still believable. They still, regardless of what you felt about Camille, you believed what you saw. No one is believing what they see, and no one is seeing anything to believe. It's both. It's both at this point.
So
you don't have anything to believe, and you don't believe what they say.
So you're saying the world thinks
Quentin.
So you're saying the world thinks Quentin and Janelle got a fake relationship?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not saying the whole world, But as the token statistician here,
Okay. Are y'all ready to?
I'm saying it's cap. I'm saying it's cap. I'm saying ain't nobody believing that shit.
Okay.
I'm saying even in instances where opposites attract, this isn't even a believable opposites are attracting. I'm saying they didn't even take the wool out. They just took some what you call that, some jersey sheets, some jersey cloth sheets to pull over our eyes. They ain't even take the good wool out. They ain't even get the bamboo. They ain't get the Egyptian cotton to fan and flame and flash before our eyes. Like, this is some bullshit. And it's just some bullshit. The believable ones would be Aries and Phil. But because Phil has had some missteps verbally, I think that is going to be a Sabrina. This season is a wash. A whole wash. And we can only look forward to Dallas 2 and hope that they might have a real connection. Otherwise, we're going to be looking for Ready to Love the Next Chapter in New Orleans.
Okay. So let's go to the next the next date. Boom. Almost there, y'all. We got 2 more things to talk about. Maybe 3. Y'all ready? Boom. We ready to go first.
When I saw this date, I knew at the very beginning that this was going to be a shit show, just based off of the body language in itself. He came in, they gave the church hug, you know, the little side hug and whatever. And she sat down, and she was gleeful, knowing that she was the hammer that was going to strike him down in this date. And he understood, you know, where he was at and why he was there. And then, you know, it was like a role reversal, right? Because last time, you know, she went out on the counseling, and this is I'm going to one up your combativeness or your combative statement, and I'm going to cut your ass off right here. And yeah, you know, and then it happened. We ain't gonna get. Well, we're not getting to the ending part, are we? We're just talking about this right here, or we're gonna talk about the whole thing, Tyrone?
Leaving that up to you.
Okay. Well, so what I'm gonna say is Chris, I rocked with you hard body, and then they came with this choppy ass audio out of nowhere where he's saying, "You don't know shit about me," and F you and F everything about you or whatever. Bruh, listen, man to man, I get it, man. You know, we get frustrated, we get hung up in our feelings, but it is never okay for a man to take that stance of aggression and verbally assault a woman in that way. This is just not what we do. It doesn't make it acceptable. I can understand if there was something that was said or whatever that, you know, created this sort of heated moment, this tension. But as a man, bro, you have to realize, like, you know, when you're talking to a woman in that way, it is not received the same way as a man would receive it. And even though Jessica may have acted like she won, I'm sure that she was hurt by those words and by that whole encounter, right? Now, obviously, I didn't like, you know, the
condescending, sort of vibe that she was giving off to Chris. But as a man, bro, and then you had the opportunity to clean it up with your confessional and you doubled down there. So, I mean, absent the fact that, like, if some, my mom is gone. My mom is no longer living. And if somebody made a statement about my mom, then yes, all bets are off. And I'm going to give you the blues, and you will never forget the words that I say. And I can understand it. I probably would just black out. And I get that. But absent the fact of something like that didn't happen, where, you didn't just, you came in there on 10 or whatever, bruh, that's not acceptable. It's not, like, and you can't just double down on something in that nature. Like, you got to take yourself out the game and say, yo, what did I do in here? Was I satisfied with the man that I looked at in the mirror after I was done? Could I have said this a little bit better? Like, there's got to be some growth in this, man. And, like I said, it seemed like a tall moment. So, I mean, I would just like to see or hear what the context was in this. Like, I'm not going to beat him down, because I don't know the totality of whatever, was said. It could have been, what if she said something about his family in Africa or in Nigeria or whatever? Some people may, go all out when it comes to, your family. You don't do that. So, it could have been that type of situation. But if this is just a general conversation that you're having with a lady and you're pissed off, that's what you don't do as a man. So, there's that.
Okay. Stacey, what you got?
Okay, so I'm going to take a different view. I had to challenge myself. And I took a lot of, I had to take a lot of thoughts about how I'm going to say this and how I felt about this. I think what Jessica displayed was the most dangerous kind of women for men today. It's the manipulative kind. It's the kind that's giving these subtle cues, saying these subtle things, keep rolling your eyes, keep disrespecting, keep dismissing. I feel like if she were talking to a woman, the other one like that, the other woman would have popped off 5-10 minutes before what Chris did. I do not agree with the language and what we saw from Chris. I cannot excuse it. However, I recently saw on Instagram, like when women try to box you, when women try to fight you, and what do you expect a man to do sometimes? And I know there's a lot of different versions of what occurred at this moment. And like I said, I saw other clips of Chris, and I know he has a daughter, and I know that he is very, very restrained. So I think like sometimes women, we gotta hold ourselves accountable when we are being provocative, even if it's in subtle ways. Now, I do not excuse abusive behavior whatsoever. I don't co-sign it. I don't agree with it. So if we find out some other stuff happened, some dangerous stuff happened, then hey, I'm wrong. I'll fully apologize. But I can just say that I've been in situations with people who have provoked me in nonverbal ways. And also we're dealing with editing. So we don't, like, you can tell, now Ty, you can tell this scene was very edited. Chris is ultimately responsible for the way that he responded, the language he used, all that. So I'm not taking away from any of that. I also feel like if we're going into a situation, our intent and how we craft it and how we present it is as equally important. So I, for one, I've been in situations, so I definitely will never excuse, condone any kind of abuse and any level of abusive disrespect. I also know that I've been in situations where I've provoked people. I've said things to garner a response, the response that I wanted to turn knife without me looking crazy, but I knew what I was doing. So in this instance, I just feel like, I don't know. I don't freaking know. Ty, you muted.
So Stacey B, you at a loss for words.
I'm at a loss for words because I rewatched the scene 2 times after the original. I was like, what would make you pop off like that? What would... So I rewatched it and I looked at other cues. And then Ty, being from your school, I was like, okay, some things aren't really going in, some things didn't go in proper sequence. So I can't really give a full assessment. You know, I can say, Chris, you're wrong for talking to a woman how you talk to her. You said somebody was combative and you were aggressive in this manner. You use disrespectful language. However, not to excuse him. And I can see how Jessica was also disrespectful in her delivery. Like, if I was gonna be manipulative, if I was in court with somebody and I wanted to provoke somebody and in a way like the judge wouldn't hold me in contempt, but I would do just enough where I get off, but I can make you look crazy, that's what I'm gonna do every single time. And I don't think that is right. I say all that to say Chris is wrong, but Jessica cannot get off scot-free in how she handled it as well. She was rolling her eyes and the entire time. Oh. So I think like they should both be held, maybe different levels of accountability. Because again, I don't condone any kind of abusive behavior in any way.
Well, okay. So I've watched it quite a few times, and I try to listen to what he was saying. And some of the things that he was saying was like, you don't know nothing about me. I am a man. You don't respect me. And I was wondering, like, where did all that come from?
Right. It didn't make sense. So something else had to happen.
Y'all said it yourself earlier. Literally, what was it, 2.5 hours ago? If somebody's saying something about you and it ain't you, then let it roll off your chest. Ain't that what y'all said earlier? So that's why I said I hope that works both ways, because obviously it didn't work both ways. I had said it from the beginning when y'all was talking about, you know, how cute he was and his nice smile and being perfect. And I said, I'm interested to see what it's going to be like when it don't go that way for him, right? Like, it's always interesting to see when you get to see a different side of someone. And the two of those things can be mutually exclusive. He can be a nice guy. He can have a nice smile. He can be cute. But he can also be someone that allows himself to get annoyed and still cuss out a woman knowing that the cameras are on.
Okay. Well,
right?
then I can stand corrected. I can apologize. I'm so sorry. That was my assessment. When I was watching it, maybe I was watching it from a different point of view. Where I've seen men like this and I've seen women like this. You know what I mean? Like the kind of people that fight each other. So who's wrong?
Right. So
Krishan and Blueface. That's when I was watching the scene, that was what I was seeing. And while Jessica might not have been using the language, I probably can't even compare that. So I'm wrong for that.
To me, it's given off maybe a few things. Maybe.
Well, we know there was rumors. We know that there was some rumors started that he had issues with questioning because of feedback, questioning his sexuality. We know that was an issue.
Okay, so aside from that, I feel like there might be two things. Maybe there's still some emotions there about how he feels about her. Because if you don't care, then you literally wouldn't. You don't care what anyone has to say if you don't care, right? You'll be able to laugh it off. The other thing is that maybe he's just so sensitive to and it could be a cultural thing, and I don't really know him, so I can't speak on it, to a woman being so assertive that he subconsciously don't know how to handle it. You know, maybe he's not used to that. Maybe he's feeling like she being disrespectful and talking back. He does kind of guide a lot of the conversations in his scenes. He does kind of, cut people off mid-sentence during the scenes. So I don't know, but in the end, I don't think at any point you should let a woman get to you like that, especially if you know that the cameras are on. I have been there, though. I have been frustrated. But never to that point to where I'm like, F you and F everything about you, right? Which made it personal. So, we always talk about accountability and we always talk about, protecting women and Black excellence. And, if it was up to me, I think we should demand more, right? Even from the cute ones, demand more. And that shouldn't be tolerated. In addition to that, I always try to look for growth and accountability. And afterwards, he doubled down and was like, yeah, maybe I said some things, but he said that he wasn't, what was his exact words? He said he wouldn't change the thing. So, to say that he wouldn't change nothing, like all of that don't sit right with me,
Right.
And now I'm interested because Zoe got crucified for a lot less.
That's true.
Zoe got crucified for a lot less. We are always talking about respecting the women. So I'm really anxious to see what Tommy gonna say about this. If
no, did not. No,
even if they're gonna even address it.
No.
Listen, Chris don't got no legs. Chris ain't got no legs like them lounge ladies. So Tommy ain't gonna say Jack from crack.
Listen.
Why you gotta bring him into this?
What I understand, they should say something. They better say something, right?
Yeah, because he even called Ron out too. He called Ron out.
Who called Ron
out? Thomas did
at the reunion. They gotta say something. I'm wondering if they, are they gonna let it go? Are they just gonna let it slide?
I think we'll have better perspective at the reunion. I can say that I was only, listen, the perspective that I'm speaking from is okay, women, if we want better, we got to do better. And we can't continually like fall into like this space, this gray area, right? So maybe I'm a little tougher on us, maybe. And so that left me like short-sighted. So maybe I didn't see the forest for the trees. So I'm okay. I can accept like if I'm wrong. And again, like I said, anything abusive, none of that stuff, I do never in my life. Nope, not okay. And I have daughters. But if in challenging myself to be more objective and not just to see it from my point of view or from how we skew things, my opinion, right, a few moments ago was based on me challenging myself, not just to see things through my lenses, but to see things like how other people may perceive us. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can accept that, and I'm so sorry for being wrong. But not to diminish anything, I think it's an important part of growth, like through our personal experiences, to challenge ourselves to see things from different lenses and not just feel safe in the spaces that we feel safe in. Because normally I'd be like, oh no, F that, like, what is he talking about? So my opinion is only at this moment it's formulated, well, my vantage point was skewed in, let me see things from a different point of view, and let me see things from how other people might perceive our body language, what we're giving, what might provoke them. Now, see, pointing in my face, I probably would have flipped over the table if I was Jessica. She was probably better than me in that moment. And remember, I watched the show Interrupted. I got 50,000 kids, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that all of this stuff right here.
I don't like that kind of stuff now. In my face,
that's a little aggressive.
I can't fool with it.
Yeah, it's more aggressive.
Okay. We good? Everybody got it all out for the current episode. We've been here for almost 3 hours. So one more again, shout out to Sabrina, who is taking some time off. I appreciate you all for hanging out with us and dealing with me, Paul, and Stacy, who was trying to hold it down for y'all tonight. We had missed a couple weeks. We got one more topic, right? And that is the Ready to Love spinoff, right? So we do have a Ready to Love spinoff that was announced officially earlier today, right? So here's the picture right now. So we got Ashley from season 1, Bernicia from season 3, Zadia from season 4, Charisse from 6, Miami, and Tanika Lee, the matchmaker. Essentially, they get to go to New Orleans, meet with a lot of men. They say dozens of men, and figure out if any of those men are worthy enough for them to move to New Orleans. So it's a Ready to Love spinoff called Ready to Love, Make a Move.
All right. So let me say this, and there's no disrespect to the ladies on there. I mean, I know half of them at least. But I'll say this.
At least half. That's 2 out of 4, Paul. I was just to know at least 2.
Well, I know. I mean, I actually talked to at least 2 of them. The other girl, I'm not her.
By talking, what you mean, Paul? By talking?
Huh? I mean, actually see them in the real world or something, or have had whatever. I ain't even saying that. But this is what I'll say is this: when you go on one love television show, right? And you leave that television show,
Oh, snap.
we know that TV, and all of us has learned this. This theater is not set up for you to find love, right? So at this point, the spinoff, like anybody that gets on these spinoff shows, is going to be an acting deal, basically. Or TV time. No disrespect, everybody, you know, everybody's motivations or motives are different. But when I look at this here, I see it like, this is the wrong theater for relationships, but it's great for entertainment. And, I just can't, based off of, what these producers drummed up, for Ready to Love and the scenarios contrived and things of that nature. I expect for this to not, take off at all. This probably be like a one-off season or whatever.
So
I don't know.
I'm gonna say I want nothing but the best for them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I hope they all prosper. In the end, it is TV, even RTL,
Yeah.
right? It's a show. You know what I mean? In the end, it's a show. If it is some acting gigs, if they do get more spinoffs from this, more power to them. Maybe, they'll rotate some of the guys through, rotate some more girls through, rotate some more guys through. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
big them up. I feel like the better they do, the better the rest of us could do. Zadia was my very first date ever. And I felt like I was very vulnerable with her. And she handled that delicately. Like I appreciate all of those things about her. And I really liked her. You know what I mean? I really did like her. So Sharice has been on the panel.
Yeah, no
So,
doubt.
I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna support them.
Yeah.
It looks like they got very emotional based off of the previews, right? There was a 2-minute preview. I'm not sure if I could show it or not, but yeah, it's on Owen's channel if y'all want to take it, if y'all want to take a look. And yeah, go and support these ladies. That's my opinion.
and I just think that the premise of the show, and maybe I'm saying this because I don't know what all it entails, but I think from what I gathered, it's 4 people that's going to have 12 guys fighting over them to move to their respective city or state. Am I wrong with that, or what?
Yeah, so from what I understand, it seems like
Wait, where
they
really
bought a
did it from?
no, they bought a big house in New Orleans. All of the ladies live in the house, and then they date guys that live in New Orleans,
And try to get them to move to
and
their
try
respective
to
city.
find someone that they're cool enough with to actually live in New Orleans to be with the guy.
Oh, to live there with them and
Yeah,
not.
so all of them are living in
Okay,
a
so I
house
thought it was.
together.
So I thought it was.
To
I thought
make
it was.
the lady move there.
Yeah, so
I
they
can tell you, it would have made sense for me to be invited because that's home for me, and I'm looking like, oh, this guy's on there. I know him. This guy's on there. I know him. It made sense to try to talk Stacy into coming home. No shade at all. So like for me, and they never even let on that they were going to be on this show. They never told me a word, nothing. So when I saw the preview and I'm like, oh, him? Him? Really? Him? These guys
so they should have consulted with you, huh?
It would have made sense because my mama want me to come home. So I'm like, y'all in my city. Okay. I guess y'all call me for the Miami one. Whatever. Whatever. but I was really looking at, you know, like I know a couple of the girls on this season, on this show, absolutely love and support, especially one or two of them. I was literally, because I was like, and even some of the guys that I saw who I knew, they're actually good guys. So I'm excited to see how it works out because, like I said, the guys never mentioned anything to me, which would have made sense for them to give me a leg up. But I'm interested to see, like, I'll definitely be watching because obviously I know the ladies and I know the guys. So, and in all of,
yeah. The thing is I feel like
first of all, P.O. really came for me in Tulum. He was like, "That's all you." Who else was it gonna be? I'm tired of y'all sleeping on me.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
I got a little.
Yeah, you had some gifts. Yeah, you had some gifts. You know, definitely.
Yeah,
you know, I'm glad. You know what?
Gifts.
Not some gifts.
Gifts.
I'm glad we exchanged numbers. Okay.
Whatever, P.O. Don't put your sandwich in your pickle. Bad.
Anyway,
all right.
Like I was saying,
really,
I just wanted to get my point in there. Yeah. No, that's Stacy. All right. I was just gonna say, damn, I think I forgot my point. But all in all, end of the day, you know, I just feel like this is one of those things where it's a Hail Mary to save the franchise. And, you know, I think after this Dallas season, I don't think that this can continue anymore. I think that this is probably the end of the whole RTL franchise period. And that they're
of Dallas too.
No, I mean, no, I know they have a Dallas too.
I know, but have you heard any feedback about it? Because
I haven't yet, but I just don't. I think that the franchise is pretty much on its last leg, and then the other thing is just sort of the Hail Mary to try to bring it back up to get people interested. And you know, I just like I said, this is if people don't understand that this TV show is manufactured and it's not organic and it's not created to call out or to have successful relationships. It's created to have entertainment on the backs of the people that sign up for it. The end.
Okay. So, really B, you have any last comments? I know you came in late, but we are about to
wrap it up.
We're about to close out. We're at hour 3 right now.
Oh yeah,
so
wrap this up. No, I don't.
And this is only 3 of us. It's only been 3 of us up here too.
Wow.
So,
yeah. No, I don't really have anything to add. I'm sure y'all have exhausted the elephant in the room, and I honestly don't have a whole lot. I really don't have a whole lot to add to it at this point. What?
Billy B, what's the elephant to you?
The whole Chris and Jessica thing. You know what I mean? Like,
because I love you.
Speak on it real quick, really B.
Because I was like, you know, sometimes, I mean, P.O. and Ty don't understand. Well, you know how sometimes I over-channel my mind, like overcorrection. So I would love to hear your point of view on all of
it. Okay.
Because you have common sense, and sometimes my common sense is lacking. So.
Okay. Yes. Well, I'm gonna rewind it a little bit to the men's lounge and the conversation in the men's lounge. I feel like
I feel like when Maria gave his 2 cents, I don't know where the word combative came from, and at this point, I don't even care anymore. I don't know if all of them said it. I don't know if he just said it. I don't know if production gave it to him. I don't know. But my issue is it became such an issue, you know. So he called. They said combative, and of course, she felt like it came from Chris, and I felt like it was real shady that production chose her to be the one to eliminate Chris. Like, and I definitely feel like that scene was chopped and screwed. I mean, was Chris wrong? He was wrong. Full stop. Right. The way he talked to her was out of pocket. Full stop. But I do not believe. But I do believe it was edited, and I do not believe that Jessica just sat there and nothing premeditated that. Like,
oh my gosh. Okay, so I ain't crazy. Jesus.
no, I don't. I mean, but again, Chris said it. Now, if they took it out of order, but he still said it, and he was still wrong. He was still wrong for, talking and going off the way he did. That was unnecessary. But I definitely felt like that scene was chopped and screwed. I just don't. I just do.
Okay, so I wasn't so like left field as I was like I was walking back shit. I was like, okay, maybe I need to rewatch it for the 4th time. Like, shit. Okay. Thank you for that.
Let's go around the room really, really quick. We can wrap it up real quick. It seems like they're still going to Crystal XO's channel. They got 1,300 people.
It was. Listen.
Is that on Instagram? Where
it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It's on Crystal XO's channel.
She got 1,300 people over there. The chat is
I'm confused because it's Chris's interview, but when I clicked in, Maria is up there, some other dude. I don't understand why all these people are up there, but never.
They're going at it right now. They got cast in the chat right now, going at it.
Oh Lord, it's gonna be a whole show.
Yeah, so let's close out real quick. Let's go around
so we can go be nosy.
I don't like the drama, but I will peruse. Peruse the drama like this. Y'all got drama. Y'all got drama over there. Okay, and I ain't in it. Okay.
Oh wait, hold
right.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead, Stacey.
Okay, so y'all know normally I'm Stacey _B, 3 E's. Y'all know I got 3 little babies, 3 little B's on Instagram. But y'all see I've been commenting from Living with the Bees. So I'm about to get real active on my YouTube channel because I've had some people express like, girl, what are you doing? So make sure y'all go ahead and follow me now so you can get some notifications in the near future. Ty and Pio are gonna school me on something so that I can know how to make a live or whatever we gotta make on here. And y'all gonna see.
Oh Lord.
I promise you, y'all know me. It's gonna be juicy like some crabs. Juicy like some crabs. You know, when you're licking your fingers and you dip it in some butter, and then you sop it up. You got that Creole dip on it. You got all the crab juice. Yes, that's what it's about to be. Living with the Bees. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Go ahead, Pio. Or as everybody has said, I called him Daddy a number of times. Go ahead, Daddy. Go 857.
Yeah. Good night.
No, you're not.
Really be?
Just follow me on Really Be TV, and I will meet you guys next week.
All right. Tyrone E. Wilson, Ready to Love DC. I am really starting to enjoy putting out some content. I know I've been lacking for a while, but my channel is The Life and Times of Tyrone Wilson. So I have never been afraid to be vulnerable publicly. I recently just had released 2 videos. One is from 5 years ago when I met my biological siblings for the first time in my life. And the other one was last Friday, where I actually had a sit down face-to-face with my biological father. The very first
Oh, wow.
conversation ever. I recorded it. It's on my channel live. You get to see what the healing looks like, what crushing childhood trauma looks like. Please like, subscribe, forward that to any young man who is trying to get some closure. You know, I kind of watched it with my nephew, so it really hit home for me. I bought another GoPro, so I do have the Hero 12 coming. Got my drone. I'm looking for a still camera. I'm still undecided about that, but I'm really starting to enjoy making the content. I want to thank you all for supporting, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. Really, B, Stacy, Paul. Thanks for holding it down with me tonight.
Before we go, hold on. I just want to say one thing.
I was about to say
I watched your connection with your pops and everything, and I want to tell you, man to man, thank you for doing that, because for me, I didn't have the opportunity to do that, and so just seeing that done through you was a bit of, kind of yeah. So I appreciate you doing that, man. And there's a lot of people that don't get the opportunity to do that. And I'm sure that, by way of you doing it, they can sort of vicariously, get some sort of gratification and closure just seeing how that's done. So that was was definitely a good story to put out there. And it took a lot of courage on both sides, to be vulnerable and honest, and talking about things like that and bringing it to the forefront. And I mean, shout out to your pops, man. I enjoyed listening to him because he didn't hold back. You didn't hold back. It was it was definitely a good thing to watch. And I would say to anybody that has not watched that yet, please go out and watch that, because these are the struggles that I think a lot of us Black men grow up having. And then when you're carrying that weight throughout your life, our sons, that are out there growing up without fathers, you can kind of get a perspective on and see why Black men turn out and go through the bumps in the road, and they catch the lumps that they catch. So it's a great interview, great story. I would say go out there and watch it.
Thank you. Yes.
Pio, can y'all just drop a little something that the rest of us are working on? Just drop a little something, like our secret something.
I'll tell you my next journey in life. Oh.
Just drop a little hint about our plans and why they should continue to follow us. Because we got some interesting, wet, steamy stuff coming up at the end of October.
Oh my goodness!
I just want y'all just say one word so that they can.
Okay, I'll say this. I'll say this.
One word
to the people out there in the chat. There's a reason why she called me daddy.
Oh. You bumbleclot.
Yeah, Delia, I am thinking about that. How men should talk, react, and handle women in conflict. We did talk about apology, acceptance, conflict resolution, but sometimes you could be in a situation where a woman doesn't want it to end. And you just have to realize, when you get to that point, sometimes there's really not much you can do, but walk away. Someone try to get you out of character, it's best to just walk away. I was off on the mental health talk this week because I just definitely needed a break, but it is Suicide Awareness Month. So next Wednesday on my channel, we'll be talking suicide prevention.
And I will definitely be watching you because who been nasty? Oh, nasty. Jackson.
All right, we do got to close it out. We got to close it out.
No. About
Go ahead.
your suicide Prevention Month. You know, I have a really close family member who, you know, this was my experience, and I feel like my family has still, all 20 years later, we still haven't recovered, and it was like an experience that, like, it's still a healing process. Like, I'm in Texas, and I'm in a place in my life where I need to, consider like my arms and safety and stuff, but I have this trauma trigger that I'm trying to work through. So I can't wait to see what you have to say about it, Ty, on Wednesday.
Yeah, come through. I actually was there when a good friend of mine slit his wrist. It was blood. I mean, I don't want to get banned, but yeah. I don't think I was supposed to say that out loud. I don't know if the channel would like that, but yeah. All right, I'm swooping up. Let's
we gonna be messy. Bye. And then
all right.
Make sure y'all follow everybody here, because the end of October, you think I was nasty tonight with the daddy.
All right. Hey, hopefully there's a little bit more drama going on still over there. If not, we'll have to rewind it and see what they say. All right, let's go support Crystal and send some words of encouragement to Sabrina. Thank y'all for coming out.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Have a good night.
Night, y'all.